You ever played Rock Band with the drums? That's all you're gonna hear.
I do like when he did bring
right.
I can't remember.
I'm nowhere near these kind of people, but I have my moments where I think you have it too, where it's like if there's something that like you get fixated on, it's impossible to stop thinking about it.
Yep.
Do you get those too? It's ridiculous.
I'm on medication, bro.
Yeah, you should cut that shit and make a song out of it. Just the
slaps.
Just the
Just the slaps.
Anyways,
call it Russian and Dragon. People, bugs.
He's in the fucking walls. He's in the walls. He's in the fucking walls. And you see him pull out a fucking gun. He's like, he's in the walls. He's in the fucking walls.
He's in the walls. He's in the goddamn walls.
Yeah,
it's not even the best drummer in the Beatles.
Paul's big fat. But this movie still fucks with everything in this. Like, okay,
He said this movie still fucks, dude.
this movie still fucks.
Yes.
There you go.
This movie fucks.
That's not what it was.
This movie fucks.
Hashtag this.
And then
And
just
then
this movie
fucks.
Hey, welcome to the Decision Real Movie Review Podcast, where we review movies of today and yesterday. I'm your host, Steve. With me this week are Tara and Walter.
You're welcome.
This week we're looking at a movie as picked by Walter.
Oh, yeah. Whiplash.
Whiplash. It's not Whiplash.
Whiskey. Whiplash.
It is Whiplash.
Oh, that's your boy.
Yeah.
That's your boy.
Miles Teller or J.K. Simmons.
That's J.K.
Oh, he's definitely my
Oh,
boy.
Jonah
J.
Jameson.
I thought you were
Jameson.
talking to me, and I thought you were talking about Miles.
Spider-Man!
It's perfect.
Yeah.
I honest to God thought you were talking to me when you said there's your boy. I
No,
thought you were
no,
talking
no,
to me
no.
about Miles Teller. And I
Maybe,
was like,
maybe
yeah.
both. Who cares?
It's like any dude that's on film for Tara. So at this
That's
point,
not
there's
true.
there's no stopping her.
That's your boy.
That's not true.
Quick question for you guys. Either or can take it. Were you rushing or were you dragging?
I'm Russian.
Have I taken my meds?
Yes.
I'm rushing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
She's like, haven't taken my meds, and then you see fucking Tara with
The old blueberry.
gigantic.
Shout out to Twisted
Twister.
Tea, trying to get that
Well,
sponsorship.
this is also because I'm on the last day of the ones that I have, and it's been a week hassle to try to get a refill, and I still have not gotten my fucking refill. I swear it's easier to get drugs on the street than it is to get my fucking prescription filled.
Damn.
I could get you whatever. What do you need?
Sorry, not sorry.
Uppers, downers, Husker do's, Husker don'ts.
Husker Don't.
It's just frustrating. Give me something that works and helps me, and then like,
Take it away.
sorry.
Also, what do you need? Because I got a guy.
Wait, hold on. What kind of? I'm not the guy. you talk about? I'm like Whip It Central. over here.
Whip it.
There's no
I actually
prescribed
We're
drugs.
doing uppers and downers.
I
So the
actually know
logical next
someone
step for you.
on the same
more blankets. and less
brand,
blankets.
milligram, and everything as me that said they could
So-
float me a couple if I did need them.
I like that. I'll float some to you.
And
So you
then
know what that means? You're gonna owe them a favor, and that favor's not gonna be what you want it to
Well,
be.
so
I gotta hide this body. Sorry. What?
no, but his insurance and stuff is better than mine. It costs him like $90 for like 3 months worth. It cost me $350 for 1 month.
Oof, remember that
Holy
time
shit.
Yeah.
where I lent you 2 pills? Guess what? This week, I got a dead body to hide, and you're gonna help me do it.
Interest.
Exactly.
Compound.
I need you to drive
Compounded.
me to California.
Oh my God.
We're going somewhere.
Gotcha. Before the reels do fall off of this podcast like they always do, please check us out on our social media pages, which are at wherever you fucking got it, The Decision Reel. We're everywhere, just like Wally always says.
Don't type wherever you got it.
No,
At
well, yeah, at
the
The
places
Decision
that you
Reel.
have
Stop after
installed,
that,
your
yeah.
applications that you have.
Exactly.
On your
Also,
whatever you got.
whatever you got, we're there. Don't forget to subscribe and check out our website where you can find our store page where we have all types of merch that you can buy and support us with Real 10. You can get 10% off and, help us do what we're doing.
Nuts, butts, and coconuts.
Exactly. It's a great shirt. Great shirt.
It's perfect.
I know. Speaking of perfect, Whiplash.
The final seed and perfect.
I mean,
All time. Let's just rate to the meat and taters.
Right to the taters.
Yeah. There's no other movie that has better.
I will
It
say,
feels perfect.
watching this movie again,
Yeah, go ahead.
the finale does drag a bit.
You shut the fuck up. How dare you?
Hold
How
on.
dare you?
I'm not taking away anything from it.
Like
but
the drums are slowing
just,
down?
No, no.
Is that what you're
It
saying?
just goes
Rush in,
on. It
rush
just
in, they're
keeps going.
dragging.
It just
No,
keeps
it's
going.
just-
Snap my tempo.
No, listen, this is my first time watching this movie, and I said the same thing.
I will fight this one till the
No, look,
that my
it was
ending
great.
days-
It was great, but what I said was if I was sitting in that audience, I would be like, okay, are the other instruments gonna play at some point? Like I would be like, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's totally not for anything else besides their relationship.
Agreed, except they chose a very public place to do it.
But
And I'm
also-
just saying, I would be there
purposeful.
being like,
I mean, it's a double fuck you to each other, right?
Yeah,
oh yeah,
100%.
I mean, yeah.
Spoilers. We're gonna get into it.
Quick question
yep.
from that scene before we start.
'Kay.
That specific scene. He says, "I will kill you or I will cue you."
Which
I
part?
thought he said Q, but then he
I
never
rewound
cued him.
this.
Miles Teller.
Yeah, I
He
rewound this
says,
a few times.
I'll cue you.
So that's
Yeah.
what it says in the subtitles. When I went back,
Kill you. Maybe
yeah,
that's it. Maybe
I
it's for you to
swear-
interpret.
Yeah, I swear he says kill. Like I listened to it a few times. Sounds like he fucking says kill.
When I heard it, I heard Q.
Yeah. So,
Well, I mean,
I didn't watch it with subtitles. That's just what I heard.
sure. J.K. Simmons definitely says he's gonna kill him in
Yeah.
that scene.
Oh, yeah,
right? He's
yeah,
like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm gonna fuck you like a pig or whatever he says earlier in the movie. Oh, you good? What'd you get?
I got the so the porks.
He got Chipotle.
The porks.
What'd you get at Chipotle?
So,
Sorry,
dude, I have
should
this down to
revise my-
science.
yeah, mhm.
I get rice, black beans, and I go verde, extra sour cream cheese, and sometimes lettuce. If it looks like the plate's empty.
I bet
That's
you
it.
I'm the only person that you guys know that orders hard shell tacos at Chipotle.
I've seen people do it, but it's a rare thing. You're right about that. It's a
Every
rare
time
thing.
I go there, I got to get them because they're so good that I'm at Chipotle and I want them.
They are delicious.
Right. So it's. Do you guys have that thing where you go to a certain
I
restaurant
do a
and you're
broken down taco. I do it with the
Oh,
chips.
okay.
I
All right.
fucking-
All right. That's the same thing.
You know?
But like when you go to a restaurant or a fast food joint, you're there because you want your meal that you always get, right? And you're so like, do I try that new thing? But Old Faithful here always gets me through the day.
Oh yeah, I'm in.
So it's like, you go to Wendy's, you always want to get the spicy chicken sandwich, right? Or, Dave's single or whatever you're getting, or the junior bacon cheese, right?
Joe Junior Bacon Cheese.
But you never
Oh,
stray
trusty
away.
junior
That's what I'm
bacon
saying, right? So you're like, I got a thing where I go to Firehouse Subs. I always get the, I can't even remember what it is because I just say that one. I think it's the number one or whatever
Sure.
they have.
They got a great cold cut.
Oh, yeah, it's great. Everything there is great, but I
Yeah.
can't not get what I always get. Same with if I go to Burger King or if I go to McDonald's. Like I'm going for that specific item. So I can't order anything else.
It's the beer.
It'll get you.
Burger King, you go the Whopper. You ever cravings where
So-
you're driving around? You're
Yeah.
like, oh, I think I want a Whopper.
Every time I've gone to Burger King lately, I've been like, why am I here? But
It's because you smell it in the air.
Yeah,
Tell me
you're
you
right.
guys don't fucking sniff a Burger King out as
You're
you're
just like-
driving by.
I don't go to Burger King.
But do you smell a Burger King? You have to
it
smell
your
a Burger
way.
King. You can smell a fucking Burger King.
Just like
a
when you
mile
drive
away.
by Five Guys, you're like,
Yeah.
I need it.
Yeah, yeah.
Burger King is at the bottom of my fast food list.
It's close to the
Honestly,
bottom.
God, it's not. It's
I have-
never something. I have never once in my life been like, you know what?
It's
I want Burger King.
it has to be a specific establishment for me. It can't be a whole chain of things. There's a single Wendy's that sucks ass, and that's the one by Walmart.
Oh, yeah.
The Taco Bell over in Lusby.
Don't go.
Yeah, Prince Frederick, I think
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah. By the way,
Garbage.
which I said last time,
The McDonald's on Great Mills.
Yes.
That one.
that one's not good.
the
No,
winner.
I stopped at, after our Tiki Bar show with Tiffany's birthday, whatever. I was like, man, I want a double cheeseburger or whatever from McDonald's. And I stopped in there by the one you're talking about, and there was a line of 70 cars. And I went, I'm not going to McDonald's.
The
Taco
one,
Bell.
in Solomon's.
Yeah.
I drove by there too. I even text Tiffany because that was another day where
Dude, Roy Rogers.
I hadn't really eaten.
Yeah.
It's the
That's
king.
another. It's a
Gold
problem that
Rush
I'm
over
having
there,
lately.
is it?
Yeah.
I hadn't really eaten.
Sure.
And so I had a headache after my show while I was at your show, and I had text
My show and
Tiffany,
your show.
and
We're
I
all
was like,
shows.
"Why are all the drive-through lines fucking miles long.
the only
and that's
one-
the first one I went to, and I was like, nope.
Nope. Taco Bell. There was one car in front of me. And I was like, I guess I'm going here. And again, in the back of my head, same thing. I'm like, this is the shittiest Taco Bell. But you know what? I'm fucking hungry. Give me the shit. And I had 3 of the best tacos I've ever had from Taco Bell there.
You never fucking know, man.
Sometimes, yeah, maybe they got a new guy
Did I
who's just
tell
like,
you about my
hey,
horror
let me
story
fucking
from there? I'd
Let's
say
hear
about
it.
my horror. So I show up coming out of town for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
I asked the lady for the Baja Blast Freeze,
Ooh.
and she
You
says
like a
it's
good
out of
Baja.
order or whatever, kind of like McDonald's
Sure,
ice cream
sure.
scenario. And then, sure enough, the other person says, walks past, goes, it's just fine. And then she looks me dead in the eye and says, we can't do that. And I'm like, what the fuck? What kind of place
I want
is
to talk to
this?
that guy that walked by.
Yeah. The fuck kind of place? I just left. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's no point. I'm not going to fight some lady.
Is that
just
why you
doesn't
don't
wanna
like
be there.
them, or is that just
No, I've had multiple
Okay.
cases. I've had
Fuck that lady in
yeah.
particular.
sometimes it's enough to scar
Right,
you?
you're
Yeah,
right,
you
no.
know?
I've hit that place maybe 3 times with like I think 3 maybe the magic number for like them fucking my shit up. That was one. I had
Magic number.
I had one time where I asked for a box and I got 2 just bean and cheese burritos. It wasn't even close to what the box was. It was like a spicy box. And I was like, wait, how do you fuck this up?
That's spicy box.
A spicy box.
So I like them.
Oh, no. Yeah. Anyways, I want to talk about something that we rarely talk about on this podcast.
The movie?
Beyond that,
I'll do it myself. But
Where's the button? See if you fucking hit the button. There we go.
get her one. We rarely talk about this, but we kind of talk about it, or we go into it, but we never really explain. We are all musicians here.
Wannabe.
Tara's a singer. Wally's an axe man. I'm the guy that hits things.
Oh, I like how it was like.
Not realistically
Yeah,
what
yeah.
they are. Hey,
Sure.
thank you. Sure.
I'll take it.
mine was.
Tara yells out of her mouth. Wally's the axe man, and I hit this. Is that better? Is that better? All right. So, with this movie in particular,
Yes, she did.
I'm surprised we haven't covered it
I know,
a lot sooner, or we don't talk about other musical movies on here a lot. I wouldn't say we're like the best musicians ever, but I would say we have a how would I say, we can talk about things in movies where we have like a say.
Speak
If
some
that
of
We're
the
makes
not
language.
Yeah,
beginners.
there you go. But, hold on, we're
I'm just
professional
starting,
musicians.
We're
Hold on.
not just starting, baby.
We're
I'm
not
only
babies.
halfway there.
Right. If
We're
you-
not. What's he call him?
don't-
Squeaker.
We're not. We
Squeakers?
got a squeaker over here.
Turnballs,
Yeah.
midgets, little people.
What I'm trying to say is, we are professional musicians. We get paid to put on shows. Let's be real. We get paid for our craft. Maybe for a couple dollars here, a couple dollars there, maybe a lot of dollars some places. But we have a way of looking at these movies a little bit different than a normal person would. Specifically,
Sure, it's like a dancer watching a dancer movie or someone
Right,
else
right.
in the same occupation.
I don't want to
Blah, blah,
like bring this on me, but specifically me watching this movie, I have a little different interpretation
blah. Yo,
than
I try.
anybody else.
I try to play
Okay.
the skins.
Wally also plays
Eh,
the skins.
Just before
I'm nowhere
today,
near
actually.
Steve's caliber, but
Yeah. You were just out there.
yeah, I was
drumming a
slapping
little bit.
some sticks.
He was baka, 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 apa.
yeah.
The funniest part in this movie to me is when he goes, he's like, here, bar, whatever, say it or whatever. And he like mouths
Beatbox
it.
it, yeah.
And then he says something I'm not going to repeat here. And then he's just like, no, play it on the actual set.
Yeah.
Dude,
He has the best lines in this
yeah.
whole
When
thing.
he did that, when he was just like, boop, and he's like,
Yeah.
no, like, what are you doing?
Are you crying all over my fucking drum set?
yeah, it's great.
But
It's really good.
I thought about this before too, like, and maybe I was overthinking it, but
Maybe.
I feel like as a musician, when he was yelling at him the first time he played, when he was like, were you rushing or dragging? Rushing or dragging? I'm sitting next to Garrett going, he's rushing! He's rushing! He's answering the question! And he's
He
like,
dances between the two, which is
he's
the
like,
weird part
calm
about it.
down. And I said, but he's not. I
So-
said, there's no way as a drummer he doesn't know what he's doing if me from listening can tell what he was doing.
So the point is, he's actually not rushing or dragging.
He's
perfectly in time the entire time.
in the, it just,
Nope.
What's that word
somebody
called?
actually went
what's that word
through.
called?
Which part? Which you retarded?
He's in the pocket.
No, that's what it's actually called. This
Oh,
is the
yeah,
one
he-
time I could use this term.
He's
without it
right.
being-
If we're talking music now, you can
That's
retard a line.
yeah, dragging.
Yeah.
I wasn't
Slow.
talking about dragging. I was
Slow.
talking about like the
He's in the pocket.
yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
I can't say he's like short bussing it or anything like that. That would be inappropriate.
I was talking about when he was smacking him.
Okay, so J.K. Simmons' character is rushing.
He's
him.
rushing.
Right, and he's like, oh, so you can tell. But in the actual movie, the part that he's talking about where they're stopping all the time, he's like, not my tempo. It's okay, do it again.
And then he's like dragging. rushing,
Somebody put
dragging.
a metronome up to it and put it on YouTube. The music that's being played is perfectly in time. So he's either doing this to see if he can take it, putting him on blast, putting him on the spot as a squeaker, just to see if he's got the jam, right? Because the whole point of this movie to me is him trying to find that guy that he even says at the end that, I never had a Charlie Parker. I never had a student that did whatever. He's just pushing everybody to the brink until they fucking crack or...
Method teaching.
Right.
It's dope.
Well, he also said multiple times when he would say it, he said not my tempo. He never said not on tempo. He said
Correct.
not my tempo.
Correct. So, again, he's just pushing him. So right before that, when he kicks out Elmer Fudd, he's like, oh, he wasn't actually out of tune, but if he can't tell the difference, I don't need him here.
It's genius.
Right?
So good.
But again, he's literally doing that and then sets up for him to do it, and he does the same thing to him, and he's like, well, if you can't tell the difference either, right? Oh, but you can, you do know the difference. And if he were to sit there and say, no, I'm on tempo, what would he have said?
Yeah.
Obviously, you're not going to...
Man the fuck up. As soon as that cymbal got chucked at me, I would have dove across there and tackled that fucking bald guy.
I said this. I said, what if he had hit him? Like, that's a lawsuit right there.
Yeah.
Eventually, he does tackle him.
Yeah.
But what I
Right.
mean, like, as hard as he chucked that,
I would beat his ass.
had he not ducked, because you're playing an instrument,
Am I
you may
rushing?
not have
Or am
noticed
I
that.
dragging?
Oh, yeah.
Had he been hit with
Am I
that,
rushing?
he is
And
rich.
2 and
Like, had that hit him, he is rich. Like, that is
Oh.
a lawsuit, 100%.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Because that is a school. He is an instructor employed by that school. That is a
It was a
lawsuit.
chair, by the way.
I know the star of
Yeah, it
this movie is
wasn't a
supposed to be
symbol.
Miles Teller or whatever, but it's definitely
It's
Yeah,
J.K.
yeah,
Simmons.
yeah. That fucking like the part in the hallway where he's talking to the little kid. And he's like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna be a pianist when you come find me when you're old enough or whatever."
Right. And
it's
Miles
the
Teller's like,
sweetest, and he walks,
do not do that.
and then he walks into the room immediately after. He's like, "What's up, dickheads?"
Right,
Or
it's so
whatever he
good.
says.
Well, I also, I mean, even like before he has him play and he's doing the whole Russian dragging thing, he's outside with him and he's like, oh, you gotta not, he's being so like chill. You gotta not to worry about it. Ask him about
He's
his
interrogating
upbringing
him. Yeah.
to then use it directly against him 5 minutes later.
It's amazing.
This is why your mom left, blah, blah,
Right.
blah. Like
Oh, fucking awesome.
For the last
a mental terrorist.
mother
like,
or father, what do you say, motherfucking father or something time? The last father fucking time or
Is
something?
it worth this to produce greatness? That's the question, right?
You're right, yeah.
Can we also,
Pressure produces diamonds. What?
my man was in fucking shape too.
Oh
in
yeah,
this
he was
movie.
ripped. He was looking
Simmons
good.
was
oh, yeah.
oh my, like,
That dad strength. That
Yeah.
old
good
man strength.
lord.
His neck was really good.
And his arm, but his arms
he's
like
all-
popping
his
out of that
Bicep
time.
t-shirt.
He was a buff. He was a buff
His
boy.
skin was like his like arms like
Oh, I'm sorry. No,
I'm sorry,
again,
you can't see it
Oh, you
'cause
can't
my
see your
fucking
arms.
My
body's
body's
too
too.
big.
My,
you know what
I'm too big. I'm too buff to even fit in frame.
when he was up close to him in the final scene though, the
Yeah.
lighting
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
his face look fake? Like right down here, it almost looked like
Dude,
CGI.
that scene I can
'Cause of the
fucking
lighting,
go
the way
over
it was,
every
like,
time.
hitting.
Like he walks into the dark as he's done and lets it focus back on him.
It's genius.
It's fucking
yeah.
masterpiece.
It is. So the plot of
Anyways.
this movie, because we haven't even gotten to that yet.
drums.
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 It's some drums.
A promising young drummer enrolls at a cutthroat music conservatory where his dreams of greatness are mentored by an instructor who will stop at nothing to realize a student's potential. Yeah.
Stop at nothing for sure.
He doesn't stop. Well, he stops at the lawsuit
Yeah.
and then gets let go.
I also have to say real quick, and I probably won't mention it again, so I'm just gonna drop
Okay.
it off. That redhead drummer was fine.
He's what I'm fucking talking about. No one's safe. There's nobody that's safe.
Nobody.
He was
He's
he
been
was
in,
better looking than Miles Teller. Like when him and Miles Teller were both like sitting next to the drum, I could not take my eyes off the other dude.
Well, you think the throne, you're going to adjust the throne, that's what you're fucking missing this whole time?
It's so good. It's so fucking good.
Wouldn't it have been funny
You know
though if
you've
that
been there.
was like,
I know,
if it
right, yeah.
changed everything?
You
Like,
know you've been there, Steve. You're having a weird time on the set.
okay.
You start wiggling your ass backwards.
100%.
Not a
the
big-
throne makes a difference.
Yeah,
But-
100%.
But if you're a good drummer, it doesn't matter the set you're on, it doesn't matter the setup, you can play, right? But there is something to be said about muscle memory, number one, depending on what style of music you're playing, and if you're comfortable, right? If you're not comfortable, you're not going to play to your full ability. If you're not sitting on a set that you have good muscle memory on, you're going to fuck up a little bit, you know? If you're going to hit a tom and it's right in front of you, but in reality it's to the right a little bit, and you're not hitting the middle of that tom, you're not making a good dong, you're making a ting. It sounds like shit. Or you're hitting rims and stuff. Nobody wants to hear a
Rim job.
You ever played Rock Band with the drums? That's all you're going to hear.
I do like when he did bring.
Right.
I can't remember the guy's first name, but the redhead Connolly, whatever his first name was.
Sure,
when
the
he brings him
leprechaun,
in to
they called
challenge him.
Yeah.
You know, right after he had just given him
Dope.
the core spot. When he sits down and he's like, "You go," and he's like, "Nope, get up, let him go." And he's playing and he's standing over him like,
This
"No,
fucking
this isn't
shit."
good."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Great, it's yours." And he's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Did anybody else while he was playing go, "This doesn't sound as good"? Because I felt like it didn't, even though he was playing.
That was the point.
Parts of it-
Virtually the
parts of
same
it
thing,
sound
though.
Funny, and I feel
Yeah,
like
it
I
did
feel
to
like
me.
I could see him getting better throughout the movie. So I don't know if they shot this in order, but Miles Teller, his
Oh, like
drumming,
his
looks
way.
His
like
drumming
it's getting,
itself.
It looks like it gets better throughout the movie. I'm not sure.
Well, maybe, probably, right. Now,
The
yep.
hand stuff, the bleeding and stuff on all of their hands during that scene, all three of them
That's
when
a
they're all
thing.
competing.
That's a fucking
Holy
thing.
hell. And then they still had practice.
That was
Once he
amazing.
decided
That
he
was
was going to
amazing.
play, and then he was like, "Okay, now go."
Right, we're going to sit here as long as it takes.
I was like, how are they not
Go
just
take a
getting
shit,
worse?
go take a dump. Do it, yeah.
I
everyone's
would be
just
getting
waiting.
worse. Like,
Well, that's the other thing too. Like he's trying to have them play so fast. To the untrained drummer ear, they're not playing fast. You know, they're just doing ting 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 whatever. But they're playing triplets and like all off time beats, and that shit is fucking hard.
A lot of that stuff's on the right. A lot of jazz music's on
Oh, yeah.
the right.
Ting, ting, ting,
Yeah, a lot of the fanciness is on the right.
well, that's what I was gonna say. I feel like some of the times you need to watch their wrist and their hand more than what you're listening to, because you're gonna see. I feel like the speed more than you're gonna hear it.
Correct. Yeah, and a good drummer does not drum
said.
with their arm or their wrist. They drum with their fingers.
But in an actual
So if
way.
you want
You
to
don't mean it in a joke way. You meant like
I was like, why did I just said it without thinking about
I
it? at
concur
first?
is more what you meant.
I concur.
I just said that's what she said.
I know that's what you said. But were you saying it in a joke way, like normal, or were you saying like
I'm not
I agree,
sure. I'm not sure
or both?
because I said it and then thought about what it was pertaining to.
Yeah, because it didn't feel like I said anything dirty.
I digress.
Speed or can I see it? Oh, never
What?
mind. Keep going.
Where to watch-
Rewind it back.
Rewind the tape. Where to watch this movie? Whiplash. Say it again, Wally.
Say it again. Whiplash.
Yes.
Whip cream. Whipping post.
Quill Wheaton. Where to watch it? If you have a subscription to Hulu, it's on there. If you don't, you got to pay for it. YouTube, Google Play, Apple TV, Vudu, and Amazon Prime. Written by and directed by Damien Chazelle.
Chazelle.
He's also
Shazam.
written and directed.
Shazay.
Okay,
Best Shaq movie of all time.
Shazam. What was the one where he was like in like a suit?
Steel.
Yeah, that was it. Oh my
Yeah,
god, it's so bad.
don't get me started on these cheesy X movies, man. it was horrible.
Yeah, because
What was the one where he was at? Oh no, was that Sinbad? Which one was the genie?
Sinbad.
It was,
Sinbad.
okay, that's what it was.
Is that the movie that doesn't exist?
Yes, you can't find it.
Can't find
anywhere.
it now. That's a what's it called? The
Lost Media.
no the
the Mandela thing.
yes,
Mandela effect.
where it's like
or-
doesn't it like isn't
Well, Mandela
people are
effect
actually
is
seeing, but it's because there's another movie that's very similar and everybody's and people are
they're
saying no,
remembering
you're
that
thinking
one.
of this one, not that one.
but that movie does exist.
I swear
You
I've
just
seen
can't
that
find
movie.
it.
I've
Yeah.
I
seen
swear
that
there's
movie.
a movie with Shaq as a
a
genie too.
movie.
A movie with Shaq.
I mean, Google it.
I'm on it.
All right, while you're Googling it. Damien Chazelle has also directed First Man. The newest movie he's done is called Babylon, which had Margot Robbie in it and a whole bunch
I
of
still
people.
haven't seen that. Have you seen it?
I have not.
It's on-
like
it's
4 hours long.
Out now. Yeah, it's
Is it?
well, it's I think it's like 3 and
Yeah,
some
and I heard
change.
it was like okay.
I haven't watched it, but I do.
Kazam with Shaq. Okay, so what's the one with
Let's find out. Sinbad.
Sinbad? Also, he's directed and written and directed La La Land.
I need to go back and watch that again.
Oh, I thought that would have been a big movie for you.
Yeah.
You,
So
you would think.
I love both of them. Obviously, I've been very vocal about Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling. I love both of them. I am a fan of musicals. I actually do know multiple musicians who just do not like musicals. It's just too much. But I like musicals. I felt like this
Doesn't
one
exist.
Yep, that's the one. It doesn't exist.
So Sinbad was never
But
in
it looks like it. Look at those pictures.
But that's what it is. Everyone thinks that there is a
So
Sinbad
what movie is that?
I don't know, let me
It
find
says
out.
Shazam on. Well, Shazam was the movie that, goddamn Sinbad being in everything, and now he
But-
can't even walk.
That's one that I think I need to go back and watch because I feel like the first time I watched it, I wasn't as like committed
In it.
in the moment.
I
Yeah,
gotcha.
and I think I need to go back and.
There's a whole conspiracy. People edited his face on this shit. It's like horrible.
It's amazing. It's amazingly bad.
That's awesome.
I think that movie's kind of long too, though. I think.
Probably. I'm gonna read this here real quick. This movie is whatever, but Right of Way Films and Blumhouse Productions helped Chazelle turn 15 pages of his original screenplay into a short film starring John Simmons as Neiman and J.K. Simmons as Fletcher, no relation. The 18-minute short film was received with major acclaim after debuting at the 2013 Sundance Film Festival, winning the Short Film Jury Award for Fiction, which then attracted investors to produce the complete version of the script.
So they made this,
It's a short movie first.
and then they were like, okay, let's get
some money behind it.
some money behind it. Let's get some names.
Well,
in
so they
here.
already had J.K. Simmons.
But they did not have Teller.
No. So Johnny Simmons is
Mm-hmm.
actually an actor that a lot of people have known. If you've seen one of my favorite movies, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, he is young Neil, the guy that takes over for him on bass.
Okay.
That's the kid was being that. What do you got?
This gets deep as shit.
Oh my God!
Oh, yeah.
Should we have our?
It does. It is.
Maybe we have a podcast on that.
This is fucking. There's a million people.
It's
that
a
are
conspiracy. It is still a movie, so we could do a movie conspiracy.
yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Oh, a good side podcast episodes, movie conspiracies. Oh, I need some eerie music. Anyways, so yes,
what
this movie
Same one I went to.
was first a short movie, 18-minute long, starring literally everybody. So I watched the short movie today as well. It's
Oh.
just the scene.
How short is? Oh, okay.
18 minutes.
Ah.
So it's just the scene in which Newman shows up as the squeaker and goes into the first thing all the way through kicking out Elmer Fudd and all the way through him getting the chair thrown at him and then him being told like, all right, you don't got it, and then you're done. So it's just that scene. That is the short movie. So off that movie,
they were like, let's fucking go.
yeah. And it is
18
almost
minutes isn't even a sitcom. That's not even a TV show.
no short film.
Short,
Maybe a cartoon
short.
if you're lucky.
You're right, with some ads in there.
Yeah.
I was going to say, even with commercials, I feel like sitcoms are like 22.
They're 22,
minutes,
yeah,
something.
around there. But basically, it is shot for shot the same scene, just with a different guy in it. Where they goes out, take five, everybody, whatever. And they go out and he has the conversation outside with him in the hallway, and then uses that to yell at him. And there's some scenes or audio takes that were taken from that to put in of him yelling at him, which is kind of funny. But again, it's literally the same scenes. It's weird seeing Miles Teller played by a different guy who's actually doing it just as good, if not, I kind of like this guy better because he seems more vulnerable and more like not sure of himself, where Miles Teller I felt like always was in this movie. Like, fuck you, I got it. You know what I mean?
Well,
So-
clearly that was a direction they wanted to go in because I feel like he was like that through most of the movie. He was very like,
Yeah. I mean, definitely.
what do you call him? He called him self-righteous or something at one point.
Right. I mean, who breaks up with their girlfriend by like, hey, look, so every time we hang out, what do you
That
think about
part
drums,
Was so obscene to me. Because I feel like I would have been the same as her, like just repeating everything he said back to him and waiting for him to be at one point to be like, "You're right, that's stupid." Like
Right.
I would have been like, "So you're saying?" Just want to make sure I understand this correctly.
All these stories you hear about people like this are, I mean,
They're
they're fucking almost on the spectrum.
And this is a guy who's doing it to not like, how would I say, he knows what he wants to be, and he knows I'm going to be the next big thing or whatever. Or I'm going to be something special. He's not just a guy who's just becoming special, right? So I feel like that's that fuck you kind of guy situation, right? Where I am trying to make this happen, where in reality you should just organically let it happen. But also, it does kind of happen. So you're not mad at him at the end of the day, but also like he does try to call the girl back, and she's just like, oh, well, let me check with my boyfriend.
I almost thought, because this is my first time watching it, I almost thought that she was pulling another like, get out of here, like she was in the beginning, and when he asked her out and she was like, get out. I thought she was gonna say, I have to check with my boyfriend, and then at the end of the conversation, she was gonna be like, I'm fucking with you.
No, I think,
or she was gonna show up and be like, no,
yeah,
that's
I
not
think
really a
she
boyfriend.
didn't have a boyfriend, and she just said
Was
that
like to
'cause,
like,
number one, the conversation is fine until he's like, well, so I got this jazz thing coming up, or like a performance, and that's when she's like, well, okay, I have a boyfriend, So she probably thought, oh, everything's different. Maybe he's not thinking about drums, and then it's right back to drums, and she's probably like, well, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
I will say, even at their first date, though, he was already like, when he talked about his school, and then he was kind of insulting her school, like, why do you go there?
Right.
And then she was like, why do you go where you go? And he's like, because it's the best one in the country.
Right.
She's like, okay.
To you, right? Not to me. Yeah, okay, because it's the best for music, but
Yeah.
I'm not studying music, so fuck you, guy. Again, he comes off as a pompous, arrogant asshole.
for being a squeaker. Like, pull it back, bruh.
But I mean, again, the movie's doing it on purpose. So, like, do you really like him?
I said this.
100%.
I said this earlier. Look,
I'm behind this boy.
I think though that arguably both of them, even though they're both like the leads in this movie, they are both unlikable people.
Oh yeah,
Like they have plenty to dislike about them.
But you almost have to
because
be.
he is kind of a
That's the whole
self-righteous,
idea
like
behind this whole movie.
I deserve this, blah blah blah. Even as a 19-year-old freshman, and then you've got this guy who, for all intents and purposes, is a mastermind.
Whatever, yeah.
Conductor, all this stuff, but what is he? I mean, that's what he does. He's not. It's not like he's out, making his own music, being famous on big stages and stuff.
Their standards. I mean, they're winning competitions and shit like that.
Right,
It's
so
prestigious.
Yeah,
and shit,
exactly. If
so-
you're always going to be like a college football coach, right? You're not the best guy out there, but you're the one who's always there.
Yeah, but
and
that's
if you're winning state, a lot of your shit's getting noticed.
and that's
Right.
what I mean. Like I'm not saying they didn't both have back like the receipts to show like this is why I think this, but I actually kind of liked at the dinner table when they were like, "Do you have any friends?"
No.
No, I don't. And in my mind, I was like, "Well, no fucking shit. Look at how you talk to people."
But what did he
Live,
say? He's just like,
breathe,
I
eat,
don't.
and sleep it.
Well, he said he's like, I don't see the need or whatever for.
yeah,
it.
he was like,
I
"I don't. I mean, why? Why do I need that?"
It's kind of definitely on the spectrum talk.
I think it's awesome.
But yeah, for sure. Like,
That's what it's
I don't
fucking-
think you should ever put too much.
I'm
too
on,
much.
I'm on the opposite end of you. I think. You mean pressure? Were you gonna say too much pressure on someone like that?
No. I was gonna say I don't think pressure, but I was gonna
pressure
say
him up.
I don't think you should put too much pressure on making friends. Is what I was gonna say.
Oh yeah.
I'm like
yeah.
I don't think you should. I mean, if you need
make
to cut
friends,
someone out of
yeah.
your life, cut them out of your life. I don't think that it should be the end all be all, because you've known someone for so long or whatever. So I get him in that regard. Like Carrick is like that. Carrick, my roommate.
Right. We got to make sure everybody.
You know what I mean? Like he can turn it off if he needs to.
Turn it off.
But that doesn't mean he still wouldn't be there for someone or is friendly with people
Sure.
or
Yeah,
understands like social conduct. This guy was just like,
Fuck off. I
I
got
don't need
time
it.
for it.
I don't
Right.
need it.
I play drums and go to sleep.
Just fucking drive.
but you could, I mean, you
Fucking
could tell like
drive.
his snap at dinner definitely came from feeling inadequate at the table.
I'm nowhere near these kind of people, but I have my moments where I think you have it too, where it's like if there's something that like you get fixated on,
Oh yeah.
it's impossible to stop thinking about it.
Yep.
Do you get those two? It's it's ridiculous.
I'm on medication, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
I definitely fixate.
This
I'm a textbook
truck
overthinker.
Exactly.
so-
That's all you do, right? Now you're like, let me
I
buy
was
this. Let me
up.
look into it. Yeah.
late into the nights.
Oh yeah. Pacing.
Yeah, and Sarah was like, "You looking at trucks?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm looking at trucks."
Go back to bed.
Probably 1,000.
Right.
And I decided on one. I was so comfortable. I got that one.
I followed a random trail
But
on
all the time. Imagine that all the time.
on a woman.
see.
I do not follow on Instagram.
Sure.
Do not follow on YouTube.
Okay.
But it was I had come across someone talking about that story on Instagram, and I went down a
story?
rabbit hole of trying to figure out
Hyperfixation.
What
like
story?
who this person. It's a mom on, I guess they do YouTube stuff, and they're it's like the Utah strict. I don't know if there is Mormon, but like that. But she's got
Polygamists.
she's got like 6
Goddamn
kids, and her
polygamy.
YouTube and stuff
Bring 'em out of their
is about like parenting and stuff, but strict parenting.
Interesting.
This one kid said that he like slept on the floor for her son said he like slept on the floor for like 8 months because she like took his bed as a punishment or some shit like that. Like
fuck
like
you do?
something. The daughter doesn't speak to them. Like she went to college and was like, I'm done. Because it was so like to her it was so bad. But her and her business partner, because they do like
Carrick.
talk YouTube, they do like talk TV stuff too, like advice, like
Yeah.
whatever, and podcasts. Her and her business partner were just arrested because a child who had his hands taped together escaped from the house.
That's fucking
Yo,
crazy.
other cultures.
So they have been
develop
arrested.
kids like this. Like
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
not to that extent, maybe to that extent, but there's at a young age, you're like, okay, well, you fit this criteria physically or mentally, so you're going to try to pursue this learned experience the rest of your existence.
But I had never even heard of this woman or her YouTube, and I just
Done.
I just went down deep into it.
When we were young, my dad still worked here. He worked with a guy that he called Yaw, and he was like a 6'3" Chinaman.
Ooh.
And he was one of those. He was one of those guys. At that early age, they tried to get him to do volleyball. And from
Oh, because he was tall.
Yeah, and from the age of 9, He was, I guess, tall enough to be tried to push. They pushed him into the volleyball up until he moved to the States, joined the military.
You got to play volleyball. That's what you're calling, not basketball.
I know. I was about
Volleyball.
to say, why the fuck? Why volleyball?
I don't know. I have no
There's
idea.
not a lot of Chinamen in basketball. But
Yeah.
volleyball,
Sure.
all over.
Sure.
I feel like that's
Super
just make that
racist?
up.
Yeah.
Did you just make that
What?
up?
Yeah, I probably. What was Yao Ming? No. What was.
He was
Yeah,
like
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
6'7", or wasn't he? Or isn't he?
17.
He's still alive, right?
Yeah.
Last time I
He's tall
checked.
as fuck.
Sure.
Yeah. 100%.
Tall as fuck.
No, but like real
Yeah. No
real
joke.
tall.
Yeah.
Real,
Yeah.
real talk. He's real tall.
Real tall.
Real tall.
I need to know now. I feel like it's 6'7" or something.
No, it's
outrageous.
7 something.
Like
It's gotta be. He's
7'4".
got
Oh my
four
god,
sevens.
really?
He's
7'4".
taller than Shaq. I know that. Anyways,
He
back to Whiplash. It's rated R for strong language, including some sexual references. Obviously.
If it's your boyfriend's dick, I bet you come fast.
So good.
I mean, there's a lot of
Oh yeah.
limits that are pushed in this.
It's so good.
And they're like all by him. Like every single one of them.
I don't think there's ever anything that's said derogatorily that's not from his
That's not
mouth.
from him.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Nice.
Beautiful.
This is starring Miles Teller as Andrew, J.K. Simmons as Fletcher, Melissa, I don't know how to say
what I
her
was
last
looking
name, but Supergirl, Benast, she's French-Canadian, as Nicole, and Paul Reiser as Jim. I fucking love that Paul Reiser was in this. Like, it just makes me happy to see Paul Reiser. I don't know why. Mad about you, probably.
Did you like Giddy?
Yeah, well, every time he just shows up in something, I'm like, oh, it's Paul. Good for him.
I feel like home.
Yeah, like when he showed up in Stranger Things, I was like, oh, look, it's Paul Reiser.
7'6",
Oh, my God.
That is
That's
a giant
tall
human.
as fuck, Tara.
and he's 42 right now.
Not bad.
I actually thought he would have been older. 'Cause I feel
Yeah,
like
that's-
he's been around for a long time. But
Dude, he's a freak. He's a freak, just like Shaq. Shaq's fucking freak, man.
Shaq's only like 7'2".
7'6".
The athleticism I like basketball. It's my favorite sport.
Sure.
The athleticism with Shaquille O'Neal is the craziest shit I've ever seen
In his
my
prime,
life.
yes.
Yeah, that's like there's a few people like him, LeBron size point. That's fucking. It blows my mind. The shit that they do and you could see him the way he moves now. Like you know
LeBron
what I'm saying?
or Shaq?
No, Shaq.
Yeah.
Like even on was it Sports Center?
Sure. When he's
Yeah,
like
yeah, him and
moving.
Barkley. Yeah, you can see he's just a fucking. He's an animal.
When he needs to turn it on, he can still turn it on.
Yeah, he's a fucking animal.
Oh yeah. Charles Barkley, man, you always thought he was like the
You
dumbest
a
guy.
knucklehead.
Right.
He's a knucklehead.
You always thought he was like the dumbest guy.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
not. He's actually very smart.
You ever watch his golf progression?
It's amazing.
It's hilarious.
I saw this. I saw a clip of
and
him.
they fucking launches it like 200 yards still.
I saw the clip recently.
golf.
I don't
Yeah.
know if it happened recently, but I saw the clip
Okay.
recently of him. He was at he had some sort of get up on, like dressed up for something.
They're always dressed up.
And I don't know if but not like suit and stuff. Like it was almost like a Hawaiian shirt or something. Like it was
Sure.
Probably golf then.
a spectacle. It was in like some sort of piano bar or something. And he was talking about like LGBTQ plus rights and drag rights and stuff. And he was like, and if you aren't into that, then fuck you and blah blah. Like he was like so into it, like standing up at the piano microphone.
And that's the last
like,
person you would think, right? Like Charles Barkley's not going
Like
to be.
you love to see
always-
it.
oh, yeah.
You love to see
He's
it.
always seems like a cool fucking guy.
Yeah.
You know?
A man of the people.
Exactly. If you will. A man
All
of
the people.
Everybody. It doesn't matter. Whiplash, runtime, 106 minutes. Definitely needs to be. I mean, every part of this movie needs to be in it. I mean,
It's so.
I don't think there's any wasted moment. I don't think there's any point where I'm like, all right, just count it good.
There's some of those lulls, but they're there to give you a break from your fucking anxiety.
You're right.
Because there's certain parts in this where you're like, oh my god, what the fuck? I don't
Yeah.
think I can take this screaming and yelling and this fucking tense shit for any longer.
Who were the people at the dinner table? I think I missed that.
So his dad was there,
Well,
and
yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's like his brother or sister, and that's their family. So those are
Okay.
like his
so
nephews
that's like his
that come
aunt
in.
or uncle and then his cousins. Or
Right,
whatever.
exactly. Because they come in, and he's like,
I
it's
couldn't.
just,
I couldn't remember if they said it. If they did, I missed it. But I was like, who are these people that are like talking?
it's
like this?
D3. It's not even.
I love.
D2.
It's not even D2.
Right.
Like,
I think the best. It's not the best. I don't think it's considered a scene.
D2 is the best.
No, hold on. I was gonna say the best shot.
Ducks fly together.
Yeah,
Sorry,
but
continue.
not Knucklebug. So the best shot of the movie is his dad at the end.
Yeah, 100%.
in that
watching him
door.
through the
Yeah.
Yeah,
door.
that development. I think you're like,
The first
This is
time,
why this is happening.
Yeah, the first time I saw it, I teared up a little bit.
yeah,
I was like,
fucking yeah.
because it was Paul Reiser too. I was like, my boy. Yeah, it got me. Yeah.
I actually wanted to see a little bit more.
After.
No.
No.
So like they show him
Don't you
watching.
dare.
Listen. I just wanted to see a little like a something, just like a
His dad?
like a little like
yeah,
proud
my boy.
smirk or
No,
something.
that
You know
was
what I
it.
mean? Like,
No, he got it. I mean, you got to think when he starts going and they show his dad and he's just like,
like mesmerized.
yeah, he goes in that second. You can see just by not even acting, he's just staring. You can see he finally gets it. He understands what his son's been talking about. He understands the struggle. He understands why he went through all this. He's like, yo.
I love that he was there in the front, like, because they didn't show him out there. He just comes.
No, they show him in the crowd. He was standing
Oh, I
in the
didn't
back.
see him in the
And then
crowd.
when he fucks up or
He
whatever,
leaves. I saw. Yeah.
he goes back to get him. And like, what a dad. You know what I mean? Like going
Yeah.
back there and just, hey, it's okay. You know, whatever. And that, where are you going? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Let me fucking show you.
That's
I'm gonna
when
kill
he
you.
was walking out. I was like,
Kill.
I mean, I knew he wasn't going to. I was like, no, he's gonna go back. But in my mind, I was like, who's gonna play drums? Like when he got up and
Yeah.
left, I was like, how do you continue? Who's gonna play drums?
Also, there wasn't a drummer there.
No, when he comes back, there was no drummer.
Right. So he's
He
not
was the
kicking
drummer.
somebody off to be like, hey, whatever. So either J.K. Simmons knew that he was going to fuck him and then he'll figure it out. Again, high pressure, push you until you're good. He's got the jam, you know. So to me, that's the ultimate I fucking knew.
Both of their lives, their whole lives, equated to him smiling
Yep.
at the very end of the movie.
Yep.
The perfect ending.
Yeah. When
I
they're
just-
going back and forth with their eyes, just
Yeah.
whatever, and
They're both lit up.
He's doing the
He's
whole
with him, like building him
dude,
up,
it's
bringing him
so-
down, and then building him back up.
So good.
I also
beautiful.
like that he started playing while he was speaking.
Yeah, that was great.
You know what I mean? Like he's
Lights
talking to
cut
the
up.
crowd. Well, we've got to, and he's just like, nope, fuck you. Like,
Exactly. And the
you've
ba-
got it. This is what you've
and
got.
the fucking bass is like, what are you doing, man? I'll kill
I'll
you.
cue you. Yeah.
What? Caravan, let's go. And he's like,
Yeah.
boom, 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 boom,
I
boom,
still
boom,
think
boom,
he
boom,
says
boom.
kill. Like,
But-
Well, to the bassist, he
That's-
says,
Oh,
I'll cue you.
That's Q, 100%.
But that's why I think I assumed he said cue to him too, is because he's saying the same thing. He's like, no, I'm running this now.
Right.
Like
Or
I'll tell you what to
when
do.
he's barking at him like, you motherfucker, and he hits the cymbal right in his
Right
face,
at
and he's
his
like,
face, yeah.
whatever.
So good.
And then finally he gets going, and the cymbal goes
And he
down,
fixes it
and he
for
walks.
him.
He's, yeah, like, dude, it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Does it go on a little too long?
No.
I think so.
No,
I
no,
think
no,
so.
no.
It's
What
because
what part of it doesn't need to be there?
I think he's doing the too long. It's just going on. He's doing the same shit. If I'm in the crowd, like Tara was saying,
It's because you're a drummer.
no,
Don't
it's
you
because
fucking lie to
Then
me.
it's not
shouldn't
because I'm
he
a
know?
drummer.
It shows, it shows the slow, it shows the advance, it shows
I get
the
it, I
finger
get it,
bleeds.
I get it.
Everything serves a purpose for the most
Hold
part.
on. I'm saying he's doing the same fill for like 30 seconds. He doesn't
Sure.
need to do that. He just do that for a little bit and then do the
You gotta- dude, you got-
back into it.
You gotta watch the Buddy Rich stuff of this. The old his version
I've,
of
okay,
Caravan.
okay.
Yeah, it's
All right. I'm sure it's amazing.
Homage. Paying
Okay,
homage.
sure.
Same fills. That
Yeah.
Well,
then
that's
back into
why
it.
he did it. I mean, he'd been
Yeah.
listening to that guy the whole movie. I mean, so that's why
Did
he came in with that.
Did
right?
every CD and DVD he have being like a burned copy like annoy you? 'Cause
When
that
was this? What was the era of this?
definitely. I mean, it was released in 2014.
You mean
I know,
when was
but
it
what
supposed
it's
to be?
supposed to be? Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, there
So I've
wasn't.
never thought
I
about
feel like
that.
there wasn't an indication given in the movie.
Vehicles. That's always like.
I mean,
the
they're
big
obviously
one.
they're texting each other. They have cell phones of that era, so I would assume it's just in the now of 2014.
I didn't know. I wasn't sure.
Well, now you do. And knowing is half the
When
battle.
he came back in from after getting in a car accident. And
Oh,
he
yeah,
run-
that was
as soon
fucking
as he got in a
ridiculous.
car accident, I was like, he's gonna run to this place. Like, there's no way he's staying at this scene.
Fucking ridiculous.
The only thing that bothered me in that scene is when he's upside down in the car, his whole face is bloody. Like his whole half
And
of
he
his face.
shows up and it's wiped off.
Not even before that. When he gets out of the car, it's completely different. It looks like he didn't wipe
He
it
was
off, but it's
covered with
bleeding
blood.
a little
Yeah,
bit
he was
different.
covered.
And then when he gets there, it's wiped off, which, okay, I
Maybe
would have
he,
wiped my
like-
face off,
yeah.
but show that for context or whatever. Also, I mean, even if he shows
You
up,
gotta find one thing, don't you, Steve?
always. Okay, everything.
I thought the same thing though about it not being on his face anymore. I kind of wanted it to still be on his face. I wanted
Me
him to
too,
sit
yeah.
down and it looked like he just
and then he
got
wipes it off.
fucked
Yeah,
up,
yeah,
like-
exactly. Because also that just shows like it doesn't
How
fucking
much
matter.
he went through,
But
too,
no,
like-
it shows to me that Fletcher's saying it doesn't matter the excuse you have. You be here at this time, or you're fucked up. Motherfucker is on a bus. Out of his control, the tire blows out. They stop somewhere where he needs to order a cab because they're going to be forever. Then he gets the last rent-a-car, gets
so he had
there.
to spend money that he
Right.
probably didn't really have as a
Exactly.
student.
Then gets there. The whole time they're yelling at him, and he's just like, oh, it's fine, it's fine. He could have explained it, but he didn't because, again, did it really matter if he did explain it? Right? Like,
They definitely tricked me when he said, "Oh, the sticks are in my car." I thought he left it in the car. I didn't realize he was gonna have to get in the car and drive all the way back.
yeah, because it
to
shows
the
him
place.
leave it
Yeah,
in the, which that place was
I just
closing.
wasn't thinking.
so-
I was like, "Oh, maybe he grabbed him and it just didn't, like, it didn't show."
That was another thing that kind
'Cause
of
he said
bothers
they were
me.
in my
What's
car.
it worth? Oh,
Right, right. Well, another thing that bothers me is, like, I know that they're all vying for that position and everything, but, like, just give the guy his sticks. Like, who cares? Like, he's here. Give him a pair of sticks. Everybody's got more than one pair.
Just use your hands. Yeah,
I
John-
actually
John
really,
Bottom there.
I really wanted that to work out, especially when he dropped the stick and he was able to pick it back up.
That was
I was like, okay, he's got it now. Let's no.
Hold
he
on.
didn't though.
Any drummer,
Here we go.
You have a spare stick.
you're going to have,
He got one, baby.
you only got one. You're going to have a place in case you drop a stick or break a stick because it happens. Trust
Often.
me. Often. Well, depending how you play, they'll either break often or you'll drop them.
When he plays later, you can see that he grabs the sticks from like one of those holders. It's like in the last scene when
Correct.
he comes back.
So he learned.
He grabs those sticks. So
But there's not just going to be two sticks there, right?
there should
So-
be other
They have
sticks.
mallets. They have everything.
Right.
Flip the
Or
mallets around.
you put your, whatever you call it, your bag of sticks, whatever, I don't even know if
Near
there's a
you,
fucking name
somewhere.
of it.
Your quiver.
Sure, your quiver of sticks. They have them built in so when you open them, there's hooks that you can put on the floor tom. So then it'll be right there. No one can see it but you. So if you're playing it, let me grab it out and just keep going, right? So that did make me a little like, but I know why they did it. They did it so when he goes down to get back up, Fletcher's right in his face like, what the fuck are you doing, right?
Yeah.
Cool, but not realistic.
Way
for
more
me.
blood in this movie than I expected to be honest with you.
In a movie called Whiplash about drumming, I was expecting, maybe a drop of blood.
I didn't expect nearly as much as
I wasn't expecting
as I thought.
a car crash.
It's-
Let's be real. Well,
I
dope.
actually
It was
did.
dope.
As he was rushing, I thought there was going to be a car crash before he even got there the first
Oh, okay.
time.
It kind of pulls you back to reality for a little bit. The car crash did, because it's in the middle
Sure.
of a bunch of shit.
Also, I feel like I needed to like what happened.
And imagine that.
That car is just he just left that car there.
Yeah.
If you got the $10
Did he have
insurance,
a concussion? Did he have like?
I mean,
like,
obviously
what
he
happened?
didn't know. He only had one thought, which he's had the
No,
entire
but
time.
you know what
Yeah,
I
drums,
mean. Like
drums,
then
drums,
it just
drums, drums.
shows
So
like the
fucking
after
cool.
he's all healed up, and I'm like, what happened? Also, I need to say this.
Just give me the hand again.
When
Don't
he
stop.
says to him, when
Don't
he's
stop.
like, he's talking to him in the bar after he runs into him later, after he's quit drumming altogether,
Mm-hmm,
everything, and he's like, I assume it was a guy from his class that told or whatever, and he just goes with it, and he's like, whatever. And then later, when he says to him on that stage right before he fucks him, he's like, I know it was you.
Right.
Did they ever show him say anything about him?
No, so
They showed him say, I don't want to say anything, and then they said he'll never know, and then
So the last thing he says is, just tell me what I have to say. And then
but then they
cut,
didn't show. Yeah, so.
They cut to whatever. So basically,
It's just assumed he
yeah,
said
obviously,
he was awful or
even
whatever.
if it wasn't him, why wouldn't J.K. Simmons' character Fletcher not think it was him?
assume, yeah. But that's what I was gonna say. Is that would have been super sucky if it wasn't actually him.
Right,
He's
right.
just fucking him for no reason.
He's like, they asked me, but I said no. Too fucking
it
bad.
really looked like he wasn't going to. Because he had a look on his face as though like he
Well, he didn't-
understood a little bit.
Yeah, I think the whole conversation during that is him being coerced to do it, right? Because he's like, but
Well, that's
This
why
is-
they said
right.
no one will know. Like we just need someone to agree.
yeah, but no, he definitely he was the one. You fucking rat.
You're the one.
We got a rat. This was released on January 16th, 2014 at Sundance Film Festival, but then the full release wasn't until October 10th, 2014. Little bit there.
Down top, they weren't sure about it.
Well, no, so the same thing that they do with a lot of short stories or short movies that get made into bigger things or things that are released at different
Wait, so
things.
the short came out at the earlier time, or they
So the
full
short
feature.
The short movie came out the year before
Okay.
in 2013 at Sundance.
Okay.
So then what they probably did was, okay, this was a smashing success. We won whatever award at Sundance. We're going to release the full movie next year at Sundance. And they did. We learned.
Nothing.
Oh, okay. You're just
Don't
like,
you worry about me, baby.
what's going on over here?
I thought that there was an air blowing over there, so I wasn't sure.
Well, there is. That's why we got the blanket now. It's
Okay.
keeping the sound down.
Okay.
Soundproofing. Maybe I'll put one up there too. I don't know. Anyways, so then they released the full movie the following year at Sundance. You know, do it for the people that are there, and then do a full release. So then that was until October 10th, 2014. A little weird to
Gotcha.
put this type of movie in October. But also, where else do you
Yeah, it
put
could
it?
go anywhere, I feel.
November? Nah, nobody's going to see that. They want to see Christmas. March?
Sure. Feels
Alright.
more Marchy.
It's the Marchy. So top 10 that week. Top 10. We're going to go through them of what came out that same day, and then we're going to guess the top 3 once I tell you was in the top 3.
Oh, it came out 10/10. Didn't you say October 10th?
Oh.
10/10.
220.
It was a 10 out of 10.
10, 10, 24, 10, 10,
That's what it would
14.
look like 10/10. 10 out of 10.
No, what was it? 10, 10, 3, 2, 1? No. 10, 10 was the
3, 2, 1.
thing. Like 1-800-COLLECT, dial down the center. 10, 10, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
God, remember those days?
No.
You old people? You don't?
Payphones.
You don't remember payphones and all the
I mean, I
commercials?
remember
Just dial
payphones.
0.
I don't
You-
remember dialing down the center.
You don't remember the commercials with Carrot Top where he was like, dial down the center, call collect?
No.
Oh, they were everywhere. Like everywhere.
I remember the call 1-800 steamer.
Well, that's still
Yeah,
going on.
steamer gets
Yeah,
But
has
then
been
that's
anyway.
just in this area. Okay. Number 10. Speaking of Stanley Steamer, Left Behind.
I don't know what that is.
Stanley Steamer has been left behind. It's a
Do you
movie?
know what that is?
It's a movie.
It's a horror movie, maybe.
I don't know.
It's the one with the
Are
masks.
you looking up or am I looking?
I mean, I
You had your phone out, so I thought you were looking up.
just checking to see if anybody takes
I'll
it.
do it.
She's going to do it. Number 9 is The Box Trolls. I'm pretty sure you guys know that, and it's a terrible movie, so we won't even discuss it any further. Tara's going to tell us what Left Behind is.
Nicolas Cage. Thriller action movie.
That's all we need to know.
Entire planet
I'm
is
in.
thrown into mayhem when millions of people disappear without a trace. All that remains are their clothes and belongings.
Okay, I remember
Unmanned
this.
vehicles crash, planes fall from the sky.
I remember seeing it. Dope. Imagine you're just driving along. Poof.
I don't even see a Roddy
probably where
T
the
score at all, and I
Marvel
feel like
got
that
their
can't
zero.
that can't be good. If
got
there's not
blipped.
even a
Right.
there is a IMDb rating, which is 3.
Ooh.
What was the other one?
The Box Trolls. We know what that is.
So number 8.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a CGI movie. I mean, punch it in if you want to see what it looks like. Give it an old punchy.
You just gotta watch Trolls.
And that's the prequel to Box Trolls, where they're in
Oh.
boxes and they're handing them out.
Okay, I remember like seeing this, but I did not see
Right.
it.
It wasn't. Nah.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to.
Okay.
That's why it was number 9.
Okay.
Number 8, The Maze Runner.
Oh, that
Ooh,
was
the
kinda
first
big,
one.
right?
I actually liked that movie. And the
Yeah.
second one. I don't remember the first one or the third one at all.
I've
actually.
watched them.
Not
Whatever.
not my tempo.
Who is that? Is that Dylan O'Brien who's the
Fucking
main
no.
guy in that, or is that
Dylan O'Brien.
one of those other guys?
Was he not playing drums in this movie? Is the
No.
the redheaded drummer?
Miles O'Brien.
What is it, a pot of gold under that thing you gonna find? Sorry. Number 7,
It is.
Addicted.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what Addicted is either. I apparently didn't watch movies this year
I don't know what a dick did.
in 2014.
Hey.
You ever seen Simple Plan? Yeah, that's Addicted, right?
I don't even know these actors.
Oh. Let me see the cover. Nope. Nope, that's the
Oh,
wrong.
looks like a B8. Let me see.
Addicted. Oh, I do. I remember
Oh.
seeing the trailer for that. It's
Nice.
yeah, it's like a
I absolutely do not.
I was like, I was like, that
Medea?
might be a BET movie. And then in the bottom left corner, there's 2 little white
Yeah,
people.
I saw that too.
sitting.
Wait. We got to make sure the white people see it. Put them in the corner. How big? Pretty small.
I do
Pretty
not
small.
know this movie.
Said
Keep-
Dr. Seuss.
Not even looking at the cast, like nothing is.
Wasn't that not Tyrese?
I know him, but
Was
I
he-
don't.
was
I'm
he in
saying I
that?
don't-
Ejecto
he was,
Cito,
yeah.
cuz.
It was. Yeah.
God damn it. I just guessed. That was 100% a guess. I saw the cover and I saw African Americans. I went, that's Tyrese.
The one guy is
That's
well,
racist.
well, that's the guy who was a model.
But I was right, so it's not.
He was like a model
Sure.
crossover, actor crossover. Yeah.
Look at me. Number
He's
6,
the same guy in all of the. I know exactly who you're talking about.
The Equalizer.
Dope.
3's coming up.
Dope.
It's out.
Yeah,
Carrick
okay.
texted me while we're here
Let's go
asking
see
if I thought
Equalizer,
we would
Ray.
be done by 7 because you wanted to take me to see it.
Nope.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Well, the
7:30?
movie's at, well, he said there's a 7:20, but it's at the shittier theater. And I was like, nah.
Actually, that's not bad now.
And they
AM
serve alcohol. so.
And they do, yeah. Well, so does Lexington Park now.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't had it there, but I did see
Haven't.
that.
Number 5, The Judge.
Like Dredd? Is this
Nope,
Dredd?
just
Dredd
The
something different?
Judge.
What was the
Robert
the
Downey
spin-off?
Jr.
Robert, sure.
RDJ.
Dread, just Dread.
Oh, Dredd.
And,
So good.
It was really good.
Another white guy.
oh my God, what is his name?
Snapping.
David Duchovny.
Californication?
Duvall?
Michael Douglas.
Duvall.
My God.
Robert Duvall.
Only white boy ever make me moist.
God damn it.
Hey,
Mike.
It is Robert
you
Duvall.
gonna walk
Okay.
over, you gonna limp back.
You go.
No,
Knock
his
down the
dad,
crack of your ass.
RDJ's dad,
Was
Robert
Robert
Duvall,
Duvall.
was an acclaimed judge, and he ends up fighting for his,
He unjudges.
like RDJ,
You've been unjudged.
what's it called, represents his dad in a case.
What a good superhero, the judge. You just been judged, and then he hits people over the head with a head.
there not
Gavel.
one?
Gavel.
Is there not one?
A judge.
There is now.
I
Hits
thought
him
there
in the
was.
temple.
I honestly thought there was like a comic person that was the judge.
Probably. Let's be real. They've done everything by now. Number 4, Annabelle.
It's creepy as fuck.
I don't like dolls.
I don't either. Dolls or clowns? I don't
Dolls are
think either
worse
one
for
likes
me.
either of them here.
I
right?
don't
I'm
Neither
clowns don't do
bother me,
anything.
actually.
Yeah, clowns are fine.
All right.
Neither bother me.
You're in the dark.
Yes. Sir.
Okay.
What kind of clown?
It's a you either have, and you have to fist fight a midget clown or a live
Oh,
small
midget clown
person
all day.
doll.
No, I'm
Doll.
not. Doll ain't coming. Nope.
100%. A doll is smaller than a midget clown.
But a doll could have
I
superhuman
said
strength.
like a kid-sized clown, or a kid-sized doll.
it's
Sorry.
like Chucky.
So like
size.
a midget clown or a kid-sized doll. You have to fight him in the dark of night.
I'm fighting the midget.
Yeah.
So, because here's my thing. If
How do you win that fight?
I outclown him.
You clown that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Well,
Right,
because
you
here's the argument.
I put makeup
So,
on and get a whatever the fuck. I spray some
a
fucking water on
small,
my. Exactly. That was
a
good.
small
That was really good.
clown. That's still a human, yes.
Yeah.
The doll
yeah.
is not human,
That's what
which
I'm
means
saying.
it is being controlled by a supernatural entity,
Correct.
which means I probably cannot kill it.
Exactly.
Sure, but the
So-
clown's laughing, real funny,
Don't laugh with him.
and yeah, very malevolent.
But I feel like I
He's
could
doing
take
creepy
on.
shit.
At least I know he's human. I feel like I could kill him.
Sure.
I don't think I could kill the doll. So I feel like I'd take on the clown.
All right.
Clown's going down.
That's my argument.
Sure, I'll take that. I'll
Clown
take
down.
it.
Or I put the doll in a chest and lock it. I don't know.
Or we become
And then
friends.
set it on fire.
Hey, doll, let's be friends and I'll help you with your bidding.
And kill. Let's
Is it a wooden doll? Can I burn it?
It makes it even worse.
not get too far into the what it's made.
If
out
it's a
of.
porcelain doll, I can smash it. So.
You could burn all
but
of
then
that if it's hot
whatever's in it gets out and takes
goes
over
to something else, and then it's not my
Right.
problem.
Touche. Top 3 that week in no particular order. Then we got to guess. Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, Not Good, Very Bad Day. Dracula Untold. And Gone Girl.
Wait,
What?
It wasn't even in the top 10.
it wasn't even in the top 10.
Oh, you guys put it together. Nope. Whiplash is number 33. It was only in 6 theaters. At most.
That's not fair.
Hold on. At most, it was in 567 theaters, but not until its 16th week.
Why? Why'd they
Damn.
do a soft launch?
Maybe they just thought it wasn't going to be a big
she said.
whatever.
Isn't this an Academy? Isn't this an Academy nominated movie?
We'll get to that later.
This is beginning to end. This is a fucking hero story of a movie, isn't it?
Not my tempo.
Yeah. I don't know. All those movies can suck a dick.
What were they?
Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible,
Gone
Not Good,
Girl's
Very
a good
Bad Day.
movie.
Dracula Untold and Gone Girl.
I would go
I'm
Gone
putting
Girl,
them.
Dracula, and the other one.
Same.
Okay.
Same. I'm putting. Yeah.
Look at everybody.
Gone Girl. Top.
Number 1, Gone Girl. Number 2, Dracula Untold. Number
Fucking
2,
flying by the seat of my pants.
yeah,
over
Gone
here.
Girl is really good.
Gone Girl is a good movie.
Yeah, really good.
Well,
So that was me. You should take it back.
Fucking Ben
whatever.
Affleck
Not
being
into
in
those
it,
kind of
doing his
movies.
Afflecky of all Afflecks,
Was a good movie though.
flexing on his Affleck.
I watched The Flash last night.
What'd you think?
Parts of it were bad. I love Michael Keaton. There's a couple things, but the movie fucking sucked. was not a big fan of it, and it was only because of his acting, whatever his face is.
So you're telling me the beginning where he's saving all those babies, you weren't cackling out loud?
I was laughing.
Yeah.
The comedic shit was
Were you
good.
supposed to be? Oh.
But
Was
some
it
of the
supposed to be funny?
like some of the
Sort of.
acting, like the Batcave acting, where he
kinda
turns
bad.
around. Yeah, it took me fucking out immediately.
So everybody's complaining about the wonky CGI in that, in like the
It was
time
meant to be
lapse,
that.
whatever.
It was meant to be that.
That's
way.
what I said.
Yeah, yeah.
The
I saw
wonky
the same thing.
CGI in that movie was when they were doing body doubles of Ezra Miller.
Oh, 100%.
They didn't need to.
No,
You know
no.
what I mean? Like they could have done what they did like in Multiplicity, where he's just,
I feel like something had to have happened there.
Such a good movie.
oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
Anyways,
That's a
not a
classic.
big fan. They're a big fan of certain parts.
I like pizza.
I got a wallet. A guy gave it to me.
God damn it, I fucking love that movie. Yeah, so
2, 3, 4, 12.
that is definitely on my list because good old Mike Douglas is in it.
Mag.
4
Did you guys
times.
do it?
No,
I thought I saw you guys already did it.
no. I've always talked about it because that is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Oh, well, then I'm putting it. I removed it
Hold
from
on.
my list because I thought you guys had done it.
Never mind. Okay. I thought I heard a vacuum.
I absolutely had it on my
Losing my
list.
fucking mind.
And I took it
over
off
here,
because I thought for sure you guys did it.
Right. We're in a basement next to a furnace.
Yeah, but I swear I heard the pushing of a vacuum.
Oh, maybe if the dog hasn't moved,
Creepy.
nothing's happened. Budget time. What do we think it costs to make Whiplash?
$1 million.
$1 million.
$1 million.
That's not even one of their salaries, I feel like.
I mean, what do you think then?
It's a fucking Sundance.
Well, yeah, but then
they showed the short film and then they went, oh, all right, we'll make it.
and then they threw money
Yeah,
at
but
it.
Jameson was already in. So it's only one other dude. And
True.
at that point in time, he wasn't that big. He's not as big as he
Well,
is
one
now.
other dude, but more filming
One
Sure.
other
because it was only 18 minutes before.
It was also only in like fucking 4 locations.
I'm gonna say 12 million.
Okay.
12 million. I guessed 10 million, so we weren't off. Its actual retail budget, 3.3 million.
This is the first time
You're
that
g-
I
you
was
g-
ever
yeah.
closer than both of you guys together.
You're right.
Because normally we're smart.
All right, let's see. Let's see where you're
I
at
just
here.
let you guys do it. It's okay.
What do we think it made overall in box office?
You probably
then?
looked it up. Fine.
Not shit. Apparently.
Yeah, I mean,
not much more than that.
Well, again, remember, in its first couple weeks, it wasn't in a lot of theaters, but at most, it was in 567 theaters by its 16th week. So, I mean, 16 weeks in the theater.
I guarantee. I think it did better than it fucking cost.
Okay.
But I'll go 11 million.
All right. Atara? No, I can't look at you because you're going to read my eyes.
She's just fucking looking into your soul, bro.
I see it. Conjuring price.
Those are nails. Just tapping a table.
Yep. She's thinking, do I need to put the Jeopardy theme on?
That was
no,
fucking.
I'm gonna say 25.
25 million. I guessed 25 million as well. Opening weekend, it made $135,000,
Oh god.
but that was only in 6 theaters.
And then it moved to a bunch.
Overall, in its entire run, it made $49 million.
49.
49.
When it comes to percentage, like that might be one of the highest that we have.
Well,
As
think about
far
it. Yeah,
as
3.3
what they
to
spend,
4.
what they made.
Yeah, it's
Well,
got to be close.
When you're looking at
Oh,
these
no, some of those
billion-dollar
Marvel movies have made
yeah.
$1 billion or close to.
Right, and
So-
that's
That's probably about close to the same. Maybe a little
Because
bit
even
less.
if those Marvel movies spent $150 million
Which
to
is where
make,
they
you're
are,
making near
a
$1
lot
billion.
of
That's a margin. That's
right.
Wow.
it's close.
because $1 million is like 2 days and seconds. $1 billion is like
How many
2
more?
months.
How many movies did Miles Teller have before this?
Not many.
Small.
Was this
He
like a
was in
big
like
one
the
for him?
like the
Like-
Divergent movies.
When did Fan 4 Stick come out?
He was in that one with
Because he's a
Shailene
household
Woodley.
name now. Definitely don't think he was then.
I knew who he was before Whiplash came out because that was one of the reasons I wanted to see it.
Oh.
Like
Miles T.
originally back then.
Miles T. I like how when you type it, it comes up and says actor Whiplash, not.
Yeah, so
fucking
he was
whatever.
in Project X movie was before that.
Oh, I remember
The
how
21 and
terrible
over
that
movie was
fucking-
before
Didn't we
that.
see that? Did you and I see that? I went out and saw that.
Divergent was the same year. So
Oh shit.
that actually hadn't, I mean, it had come out before this came out, but it didn't come out before he filmed.
Fuck is Footloose in
Whiplash.
2011.
Oh, that awkward moment. I like that movie. I should put that on my list. He was
They
in
made
that.
a
So
Footloose in
this was his.
2011.
This was his like shootout onto the
He
scene. then.
had at least 4 movies come out just
Prior?
in 2014.
Yeah, he was a little busy. So the reason why
Like
he
just
wasn't
that same year.
the reason why he wasn't in the short movie was because he was so busy.
Filming.
They wanted him originally, but then they had to do what they did.
Yeah, so he had Rabbit Hole, Footloose, Project X.
That's
So there were a few
like a
before
sexual maneuver.
before that.
The rabbit hole Footloose.
That 21 and over movie.
Loosen your foothold.
Yeah, she gave me the old
He was
rabbit hole last
definitely
night.
was definitely up and coming. He wasn't popular. He wasn't like big.
That's what it sounded like. Yeah.
Or-
Tomatometer time, the Roddy T's, the Rotten Tomatoes score, critics and audience. What do we think they gave it out of 100%? We're going
Hundy.
Tara first.
Oh,
So critics, what do you think? You said Hundy.
I'm not going to say that.
You're going to say 100.
I wasn't going to.
I don't think there is a 100.
I'm not going to.
Okay. At least we haven't seen one on this show. Gotten close.
I mean, listen, critically speaking,
Critically.
I feel like this is up their alley.
Fucking
I mean?
masterpiece.
This is one of those movies that they're gonna love. I feel like, based on what we've talked about in the past, I feel like this is one of those ones.
Banger after banger. Okay. So
90.
90 for critics. And then audience. Oh, not looking at you again.
Hurry up, because this is eating me alive right now.
90.
Not looking. 92.
Nah, okay, so audience 93. I'm gonna go critics 97.
Ooh. I
You
said.
did opposite.
Yeah, whatever. So
I think
97.
No,
So
You
97.
said critics
audience,
97.
audience lower. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm doing critics 90, audience 85. Audience 94. Critics 94.
Shut up.
Oh damn.
Same.
Same.
Damn.
IMDb 8.5.
I feel like that's the only movie we've seen where it was the exact
Shining.
same on both sides,
I think we've seen one before, but it was low.
but they were the same.
Yeah, I think it was like 24 and 24.
That's wild.
Yeah. Wild.
Same.
Whiplash is wild.
Wow.
Wild
Say
Whiplash.
what?
I mean, I don't think any of us thought it was going to be less
That green tea all goddamn.
than high 80s. You know what I mean, or 90s. I don't think anyone else thought it was
I
going to be
said
less
9.
than.
9. Oh, less than. Sorry. You're right. You're right. Yeah. I mean, this is a critically acclaimed movie
Yeah.
for sure. It was nominated for an Oscar. It was
Supporting actor.
loved at.
Was it for supporting actor?
I think it was like Best Picture.
It was it
Really?
was in the best picture. I don't think it won, but
It did not. No. Who is our favorite character?
Nah, this one's easy.
I mean, it's Fletcher.
Yeah. 100%.
Let's be real. There's no way he could be the biggest scumbag ever, but yet I'm watching this movie because he is that. You know what I mean? Like he's out there, just
That smile, man.
wrenching on this kid's face.
That smile at the end.
Am I rushing or am I dragging?
So good.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Was I rushing or dragging there?
physical abuse of a student is what
Get
that was.
it. Fucking get it.
I was on time, by the way, but it's fine.
I don't think there's enough of it.
Physical abuse?
Yes.
Why do you think kids are the way they are today? No, we're not even going to go down that fucking road.
Lack of physical abuse.
Yeah.
God.
We could,
I
we
mean-
could be doing better, people. Beat your kids.
The decision reel says life could be better. Beat your kids.
No, don't go beat your kids. Only if you get out of
like-
line.
never-
Only if they're dragging.
Never mind.
Only the drag. All right, we're gonna do fucking tempo time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Are you on or not? No, I'm sorry. All right. Favorite part or scene in said movie? Anybody can say
Ending.
Ending.
Notable scenes is
Okay.
we talked about it earlier, I think, but we were mentioning that the Mars bar
Oh yeah.
scene where he's like, "What are you looking at him for that?"
Why are you
whole
looking
scene?"
down there? There's no Mars bar
The
down there.
whole scene is great.
It really is.
It's fucking genius.
It is
tells you a
tension.
lot.
Everybody's butthole in that fucking room is
Yeah.
like everybody's looking down when he comes
no
in.
one's making eye contact.
Dude, it's fucking wild. It's almost like this is it's abuse, really. Think about it.
100%.
Is it right?
No,
doing
it's not
it-
right.
yeah,
But look, part of me is like, yeah, like you create. how many people can just do it by themselves, right? There's people that obviously come to greatness on their own.
Sure.
But then there's how many people have been missed
Yeah.
because they have been pushed or they're just lazy?
I've thought about that.
So,
like,
I mean,
yeah.
you get both sides of the spectrum here. There's no
he
definitive way to
clearly-
define. So it's
He
like you get
clearly
both.
wasn't lazy because he was. I mean, you could see it. He was working all the
Hold
time.
on. Yeah, but he was pushed to greatness, right?
Yeah,
he
it's
was
a
good,
over
but
the edge,
you
man.
need that extra to get to greatness.
But how do you know?
You don't.
You
You,
don't,
just
that's
push
the
everybody.
thing.
You just abuse everyone and see what
In
happens.
his case, yes. But I'm
Right,
sure
but-
there's
well-
people that scout. That and we're speaking in a broad term, but him, no. He just
Well,
puts
hold
everyone
on.
in a pool and is like, let's do it.
He is scouting. The
Yeah,
beginning of the whole
100%.
movie
Oh,
is
he's
him.
scouting, but
Right.
but he still
She's
doesn't
talking
know
about-
until
But
you know
he
what I mean. Like
but no, he has the most prestigious music
created
fucking
a way to get a pool of people.
right. So he's running the most prestigious music, program in the country at the best school for music, right?
Yes.
So everybody wants to come here. That's amazing. So he's going around and looking and listening to all the different classes, and then picking who he thinks has that jam, and then brings them together, and then berates them until you can't
Yeah.
take it anymore.
Yeah.
Next.
But isn't it
Next.
wild that he was a freshman? Like he hadn't even been at the school to grow or learn yet, and he pulls him in and expects him to be like,
Really, because he heard something.
I like that. What does that say? There's always someone better.
Mm-hmm.
These are the best people.
Correct.
And then he's finding the one person that is literally
The best.
the top,
Right.
the top tier person,
And that's
or at
the
least
thing.
trying to create him, one or the other.
I thought the not the best scene, but like him going around like, all right, you play. No. And he just knows immediately
Yeah,
in
yeah,
that
yeah.
room who's good and who's bad. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It's 5 seconds of, whatever. Nope, you don't got it. Let's see why your first chair. It might be because you're pretty.
Yeah,
Yep, that's it. Yeah, exactly. It's genius and it
get-
works. And yeah.
They tell who this person is without telling you who this fucking person is. The whole movie. It's great.
It is great.
one of my least favorite characters is the guy who was the core drummer that he replaced in his band.
Oh yeah, I think I was a douche.
And that guy is actually a drummer.
Well, I don't dislike him because of his drumming.
No, I know,
dislike
but
him
The
because
one
he
that
was
can
a
only
douche.
read, like
Yep.
can only read sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like,
Which, first of all,
he's like, you know this.
let's
Right.
just again a little bit different. Obviously, different from what we do than what they do. But do any of us read music when we're on stage?
No, I read.
I mean,
Most musicians do not.
I do.
no. I mean, lyrics are different, and I'm not calling you out on that.
I'm not,
at
but
all.
I don't. I'm saying like most musicians on stage in general.
Okay, in cover bands.
You're not.
If you're playing rock music or whatever, you're not. But if you're doing jazz ensemble or if you're doing orchestra or whatever, everybody's reading music.
How a lot of the guitar players that do jazz band read
Mm-hmm.
is how I do when I do fill-in gigs. So if there's like I had to sit in for like 30 songs with Tim Dillon, their band, whatever, in Ocean City. They're like, here's the songs. You have 2 days.
Oof.
I wrote it all out.
Oof.
I listened to every song and I charted it. So I charted it
And
all out. It's a
that
little
was
bit
also
different.
an unexpected. I'm talking about like stuff that you're practicing for.
No. If you know the music, you don't have to. A lot of those people keep the music because they forget there's so much notation.
Like when
throughout the
he
whole
goes
thing.
up
It's
and
different.
he says, "I know it. I don't." When he took his spot because he knew the music.
yeah.
He did not need the
that music's
chords,
also a lot
the
is
notes.
way different because
is.
they're when you see like
You're not playing the same 4/4. There, I think that song "Caravan" is
Yeah.
in like 15/4 or something.
yeah running lines
Well, it
like
was
the notes you
Whiplash
start
that happened.
right. But I'm
It
saying
wasn't
"Caravan."
drums is fun to read. It's really hard, but when you get into the horn section and how fast some of these horn parts are, and the hardest part about that shit is when they come in. So like they're not coming in on any downbeat or any normal beat. It's all on some in between subdivision. So
It's
like
on an end.
to memorize all that, I'm sure you can, but that'd fucking be a ton
What was
of
the
fucking
guy
work.
who couldn't? What was the movie where he couldn't? Was it Drumline where he couldn't read music?
Talking Nick Cannon, Drumline.
But you know what? But there was some movie
Daddy,
where
Nick
he was a
Cannon's
musician and he
hilarious.
couldn't
Fuck you,
read
son.
music.
Jamie
He learned
Foxx, the
it.
cellist guy. What is it?
He
cellist.
learned it. He didn't read music. He learned
Radio?
by hearing it,
It's probably Drumline.
which I feel like actually a lot
It
of
could be.
musicians are these days. I mean, I think.
Yeah.
I think there's a higher percentage nowadays that don't know how to read music and they're just kind of like
Yeah.
they know the chords and
Sure,
stuff, like they
sure,
know
sure.
what they're playing, but not from reading it. They know from learning.
Well, a lot of guitar players will use tabs to figure out a song or something, and that's that's the shorthand way of learning how to play on a guitar, right? Like, hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, and then not to take anything away from that.
But that's what I'm saying. There is a difference still between being able to like putting a sheet of music in front of you and being able to play what's in front of you than just I'm gonna listen to it and play it, or no, or these are the chords.
Sure.
Like I don't can't read it from this paper.
I don't think it's dying at all. You're probably right. A lot of people don't do it, especially in our
world.
I think we're in a different world than that.
Yeah. But if you get in a like big band and jazz band and shit like that, you'll see that stuff all day. It's way different. When I have to learn, I've sat down and I've learned like sax parts before and shit like that. It pops up in scripts.
I do feel like it's probably different, like you said, with jazz band, like especially bigger bands, like because everybody kind of needs to be on their P's and Q's. You know what I mean? Like you need to have everyone on the same
something else.
page.
It's an actual script, and I got to be able to read it. So I have to be able to do keys, time signatures.
That's another thing. I also didn't like that he came in and the guy just started treating him as his assistant.
Flip the page.
But that's how it is.
Take this folder. But even he said to him, why did you give up your folder? That's your folder.
Why did you give this R word your folder?
Yeah.
That was the worst mistake you could have made. Yeah, no.
Yeah, because the first thing out of his mouth was, I gave him the folder and he lost it. Okay, but
which is
you
hilarious.
gave him the folder.
Perfect.
So.
Perfect. That's exactly. If I had 2 kids and that should happen, that's exactly what I would have said.
Was that not your folder?
Is it not your folder?
Whose responsibility is that to watch your folder?
Right. My favorite scene was the dinner scene. I mean, I just wanted to be a little bit different because I know everybody's going to pick the last scene, let's be real. But the dinner scene felt real. What?
I said the last scene. Everybody was going to pick it. I said who?
I mean, all of us.
I know.
Right.
It was sarcasm.
I don't know what that is. So I like that scene because it felt realistic. It felt like that's how things would be if you're like, a music student studying music that way, not being in like a rock band or something, but being in like a jazz ensemble band or an orchestra or whatever. People aren't going to be like, they're going to ask the same question. Oh, how's your music thing going? Or, good and cool. Yeah, whatever. And then, the guys that come in that are playing D3 football, like, oh yeah, how was that? Yeah, you got a pass or whatever. And they're all about it. And then the minute he's just like, yeah, but that's D3.
Is D3 not just a step above high school?
Yeah.
I'm
Pretty much.
I'm recalling that correctly.
It's in
right?
college, but it's
because D1
correct.
is the division. That's your top 10. That's your big
correct.
boys.
And then D2 is like the lower string, and then D3 would be
still
schools
bigger, and then D3 is like
right
schools,
random colleges,
small schools,
states,
whatever,
stuff like that.
Not known for football, basically. But
I do love that he says that because no one else ever pointed that out.
Well, and that's the thing.
He just made his football team. Wow.
I'm in the best music program. I'm the
literally in the country.
Right. I'm the chair right now. Like, yo, you should be groveling to me almost. Like, holy shit. Like, that's huge.
Dope.
Right.
It shows though that it's not recognized that
not
the same way. It's not known the same way. It's not something they're connected to. So that's just like
one time at band camp.
Yeah.
No one takes any of this shit seriously unless the few people that actually do it. It's like professional pickleball.
Oh, dude. I want to play pickleball.
Sure.
Like
it looks dope.
Let's join a league and let's blow our fucking knees out.
Create a St. Mary's chapter.
There used to be one at the Willows there. They had a league and everything.
Do we get
there.
vests?
Yeah. No.
She said we should create a chapter, and I said let's fucking get.
I got you.
Like a bike chapter.
Jersey and
so
vest,
what's the biggest? What's the biggest bike gang? Fucking
Hell's Angels.
Hell's Angels. It'll be Pickle Angels.
That sounds
Hell's
like a
Pickles.
group of
Hell's
porn
Pickles
women.
sounds way better.
Pickles.
Hell's Pickles sounds way better.
Dude, we
better
could
than
probably
Pickle
get a pickle
Angels.
business.
Let's
called
do
Hell's
it.
Pickles, and it's just different fucking
Spicy pickles.
Yeah,
Spicy
different,
pickles.
different pickling of cucumbers.
Okay, so we've figured out how we're making money now. Hell's Pickles.
Hell's Pickles.
Hell's Picks. No, it's got to be Hell's Pickles.
And then so you
Hell's
start
Pickle
the
and then
pickle
it's just
company, and then the pickleball team is sponsored by
the
pickle company.
That makes even more sense because then people are like, yeah, because it's pickleball.
Jameson in a Gordon Ramsay chef outfit going not my tempo on the front of it.
I'm here for it. Yep.
Not my tempo.
Any what the fuck moments for you guys in this movie?
Car crash.
It kind of comes out of nowhere.
But besides that, just everything that leaves that man's mouth.
No, I'm also gonna say the breakup.
Yeah.
I think the breakup was a what the fuck moment for me. At
Well, it
least
comes
I
out
was
of
like,
nowhere.
what are you doing?
I
and
also
he's
get it,
so
though.
nonchalant and direct about it too.
Because he's
very
like,
just like
spectrum about
this
it.
is the way that
Yeah.
this is the way that it works.
Right, he's thinking about it as like just anything else.
But you know, you
I
get what
think
I'm
the
saying, right? Like
off-putting
there's
part
no
about it-
remorse. He's just this isn't
should be off.
this. I can't really do this right now. It's just not really gonna work
I think
for
it
me.
feels like the person should know or should be in his brain. That's the weird part about it.
Like she should be like, oh, you're right.
Yeah,
But she's like,
that's
wait,
the
that-
weird
Let's shake
part.
hands and walk away.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. That's the weird part.
Well, again, he's disassociating because he is different than everybody,
Yeah.
right? He's not having a human conversation. He's having a logical,
you see that?
whatever. Yeah, the
That's the
gnat in
thing.
here. Eat it. It's protein.
Just fucking bite it out of here.
Almost got
Did you
it.
get it?
No, almost.
Oh.
So yeah, I mean, it makes. I understand how he's saying everything or why he's saying it, right? But it's almost like, yo, dude, what the fuck?
Well, even when she says, and I'm gonna prevent you from doing that, or I'm gonna stop you, and he just looks at her and he's like, yeah.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, all right, dodged a
And
bullet.
you know that. Yep. Yeah.
Fucked up though. But also, I get it. But I'm not gonna be that guy. Speaking of that guy, though,
You're not that guy. You're not that guy.
not that guy, friend.
I'm not your guy, pal.
Not your pal, buddy. While attending Princeton High School, writer-director Damien Chazelle was in the very competitive studio band and drew on the dread he felt in those years to create said script. He based the conductor, Terrence Fletcher, on his former band instructor who died in 2003, but pushed it further, adding elements of Buddy Rich and the other band leaders known for their harsh treatment. Chazelle said he wrote the film initially in frustration while trying to get his musical La La Land off the ground.
Oh, La La Land.
La La Land.
What a name, too.
talked about that.
Damien
Chazelle.
Chazelle.
Ooh. It could be Chazelle. I don't know. Chazelle.
Chazelle.
Chazelle?
Chazelle. Shazam.
Chazelle.
Full
It's
circle.
all
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
connected. It's all connected.
Where were you in the Twilight Zone? This film was shot
Something
in 19...
on the wing. Keep going.
There's
Keep going.
someone on the wing. This film was shot in 19 days, and nearly a full day was dedicated to a scene in Fletcher's office that was cut from the final movie. Still, the director, Chazelle, believes the scene ultimately helped Miles Teller and J.K. Simmons develop their chemistry together.
Perfect.
Cool.
Yeah, both of them fucking nutties, but perfect.
Perfect. For the slapping scene, J.K. Simmons and Miles Teller filmed several takes with Simmons only miming the slap. For the final take, Simmons and Teller decided to film the scene with a real, genuine slap. This is the take that is in the film. So he's slapping him for real. And you can
You
tell.
needed it. You
So-
needed it. Yeah. Slap me.
What do you mean the take that's in the film? Because he slaps him more than once. So what did they just play the same slap multiple times?
Well, the whole take of that, I'm assuming, is every
Oh,
time
that's
they
it.
did it,
I
because
got
they don't cut anything. It's literally just
It
on
just
him.
sounded the way they said that slap sounds singular. So so he didn't slap him for all the rehearsals. He slapped him. There was one that he
Right, they did
those three
correct,
times or
correct.
whatever.
And then in the
Gotcha.
short film, which I watched, he's definitely slapping him too, because you can see his like nose and shit, like, "Ugh," and it's from a different camera angle too. So there's no way.
I mean, it's just a slap.
You should cut that shit and make a song out of it. Just the
slaps.
slaps.
Just the
Yeah.
And call it just the slaps.
Anyways,
Call it Russian and Dragon.
the Russian dragon.
The Russian Dragons. Oh.
That's what they called me in high school.
The film is one of the lowest grossing movies ever to be nominated for an Academy Award for Best Picture.
No, it was Best Picture. Yeah.
So it wasn't Oscars, it was an Academy Award.
Oh, never mind. I don't know any of
But
these
still,
awards.
I
same
said
thing,
the
same thing,
Academy.
same. Yeah, the Academy, you're right.
Wait,
Were
that's
you,
the
you were
same.
part of the Academy.
Same
Academy
same.
Awards,
The
Oscars.
Academy
and-
Awards, you win an Oscar at the Academy Awards.
Oh,
So those are
Same.
also called Oscars then,
I think.
right?
I don't know.
So why?
I don't know business.
I don't know any of that shit
and
either.
shows and business and whatever. Although Miles Teller has been drumming since he was 15 years old, he took additional lessons 4 hours a day, 3 days a week to prepare for the movie.
Meth that shit up, baby.
I mean, I like that they didn't just pick somebody and like, all right, fucking
That
figure it
didn't
out.
really- yeah.
It was like, yo, this guy can drum. Now, I
Yeah.
do want to say,
Academy Awards. You
Or
win an
the
Oscar
Oscar.
at the Academy Awards.
okay.
So the Oscar
And
is
then-
not the ceremony. The Oscar is what you win. The Academy Awards is the ceremony.
Right. So then they changed it probably recently to calling it the Oscars because it's not just the It's not called the Academy Awards anymore. Jimmy Kimmel hosts the Oscars this Sunday at 9.
I'm about to
Okay.
box this fucking bug.
Yeah, I see it. We
It's
got
driving me
one
nuts.
little gnat that's like, hey guys, what are
He's
you
just
doing?
asking to get fucking
Murdered. Nope. It's in your eyeball now. Oh. I think
Did
I got
you
him.
get it?
I think he did too.
But like, take your other hand.
Oh,
Why
damn
would
it!
you let it go?
I thought I crushed him. I thought I crushed him. He knows. He's been warned.
You always, if you think it's in your hand, you always have to take the other one and like instantly.
Well, I went.
like,
I thought I would.
Oh,
he was
my
too
just
small.
flew around
goodness.
your hand too. He's fucking taunting.
Oh,
you,
yeah?
Steve.
Oh
I just saw
yeah.
that shit.
Where you at, boy?
Here on the decision reel.
We're killing people. Bugs.
He's in the fucking walls.
Okay, so the one thing I want to talk about this movie, because we've kind of padded this up now for us talking how we're musicians now, and I can finally come out and say it. Hold on, go. What do you got?
You know what clip I'm talking about, right? He's like, he's in the walls. He's in the fucking walls.
Jesus Christ.
If you have not watched Blart and Son, you are doing a solid disservice to
It's-
mankind.
It's still the Academy Awards.
Okay,
the
I'm
Oscars is just the shorthand. They do say that, but
Okay.
it,
That's gonna
like
be my
it's still the
sign.
95th Academy Awards or whatever.
Can we get a soundboard?
Just that show.
He's in the fucking.
Wally showed me this YouTube show. I guess is it YouTube or is it
It's
on?
on. It's on YouTube now. You can watch all of it on YouTube.
But was it
what
on
is it
Comedy
originally?
Central first?
I
or
think it
what-
was on Comedy Central first, but it started off as an Instagram thing.
Okay.
Like these people made their own shit.
It
But
was
anyways,
like puppets and about a dad and a son. Well, at first
It
Wally
hits
showed
home.
it to me, and I was like, "This is stupid," but I'll watch it because Wally recommended it, and then I couldn't stop.
it's amazing.
And they're what, like 10 minutes long episodes?
Yeah.
They're not very long.
it's so
But they're
good.
puppets.
Yeah, but they
Yeah.
look like.
It's creepy for the first.
Remember
two
that Nickelodeon
episodes.
shows like Meat something? What was it? They were working at like a fast food joint, and they look like the puppets look like they had skin. It wasn't like furry shit. It was like they looked like they were made out of silicone or something. Anyways, it's kind of like that.
I don't like that.
No, it's a little freaky and jarring looking
Right at
looking
first.
at it.
That's what I was saying. You watch it for like a minute or two. You can
Get
Do
it.
you guys?
the dad is fucking crazy ex-war hero, but loves his son so much. Every episode's about their bond, and it's just all really hyper stereotypical.
So what's the walls about?
So his dad has another war buddy, and what
Oh,
happens
is he
is
like
his-
PTSD? Like,
okay. Let's be quick. I'll make this quick. So,
Make it quick. I mean,
so his son is just a recluse. He lives in his room, and his son finally has a girl over, and he's like, "Hey, I need you to watch my dad for a half hour. Don't let him in this room." And it's like it just
wait,
gets
he says that to his friend.
his dad's friend. He's like, because his dad's fucking all in his face all the
Okay,
time.
so his dad's friend, who's also a vet.
Yeah, also a vet, and there's an
watching the dad.
exchange. There's a funny exchange, and he's like, then he ties him to a chair. It's hilarious. It's
Just
hilarious.
to keep him from going.
And then
into the room.
and then he's like, he escapes the chair, and you hear this like ghost, and he's like, but I'm already gone. And you see him pull out a fucking gun. He's like, he's in the walls. He's in the fucking walls.
Because he breaks out of the chair and then he's
Yeah.
like, you can't.
There's been so many like little videos from this
That's
shit
so funny.
from the years. So here, I'll bring it up real quick.
From 1996. From 1996.
do you guys remember that?
From 1996.
Oh, the pen, yeah, dude.
The pen that shot shit?
1996.
The
No.
basketball pen?
No.
I remember it.
Guess what I'm trying to say is.
Oh wait, this is the whole episode.
That's
Hold on.
all.
Oh, it's the whole episode. Nope, whole episode.
Guess
We'll do the short.
I know how you think. I'm the only man who can contain you. Wanna know the only problem? What's that, Blark? I'm already gone. He's in the walls. He's in the goddamn walls!
It's so fucking good.
Oh my god.
It is. Doesn't it like look?
Creepy at first, but you
It
get an
looks
episode
creepy
in,
as fuck, yes.
you get comfy with it though.
Okay.
Perfect.
So back to what I was saying.
Sorry, go ahead, buddy.
Because we've been talking about being musicians and me being a drummer, I can say this without sounding like I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. In the end scene where he's doing the drum solo, there's a lot of things he's doing that does not match up with what's being
What you're hearing.
what you're hearing.
I think some of it's slowed down, but yes.
No, there's a bunch of parts where he's hitting cymbals and he's just like doing shit on the toms. Or there's times where he's
Yeah,
hitting
100%,
he's
100%.
hitting the snare drum and I'm hearing toms. And
Yes.
then there's
Also
other
100%.
other notes where he's hitting a splash where there's no fucking crash, whatever. Again, I get that it's not supposed to be like, okay, it's perfect, whatever. But for the most part of the rest of the whole movie, it kind of lends to being almost perfect.
It matches up.
So that's why, like, at the end, I was like, why wouldn't they just do a top down of the real guy playing it? Because they had somebody else come in to play those shots of just using that. But they
I
didn't.
think some of those hand shots aren't him.
No, they're not.
They're
not.
not.
'cause
Any
some of that
shot
shit-
you don't see with Miles Teller's face is not Miles
That
Teller.
is a very professional fulcrum.
Yeah.
Being
Steve,
held.
have your hands ever bled?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like,
I've seen him really bad too. I've seen Steve's like this whole area of his fucking finger like gone, and then taped over.
Yeah, I would. So I used to have a problem way back of holding my sticks a little too tight, right? So then it would fuck your shit up because you would get blisters. Also, if
I
you
got blisters on my fingers.
I mean,
Pretty much.
yeah.
Pretty much.
yeah,
He's not even the best drummer in the Beatles.
Paul's a big fat cunt.
You want some more LSD?
I think there's a problem in the Beatles.
I can't. I can. Sorry, and right back to you. I can never avoid saying I got blisters, because sometimes even Sean with guitar, he's like, look
I
at my
got
finger.
blisters,
Not
yeah.
there won't even be blisters. He'll just
Right.
be like, look how
Oh,
raw
yeah,
they're
yeah.
being, and I just look right
blisters
at
on
him and
my
I go,
fingers.
I got blisters, and I'm sure he has no idea even what I'm
Probably.
what I'm referencing.
But
and,
he's like, okay,
and
do
Nora
you,
would
Tara, it's
probably
fine.
most people when I say it, but I can't
I can't not.
not say. I can't.
No, that's. I think that was a saying before that movie too.
Got blisters on
Yeah.
my fingers.
That's why he said it.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So no, I've hit my knuckles on the rims a couple times of drums. Depending on some shit,
That fucking
it hurts.
sucks.
The worst, and I've had this happen to me a couple times now. The worst things ever I've experienced in the drums.
Drum roll. That was a drum
That's actually pretty good.
It's on time. Yeah, it's
Not
great.
my tempo.
roll. Yeah, that one was not
Is going to mute a cymbal or catch a cymbal with your hands.
You punch it.
Nope.
sliced.
The cymbal goes under your nail.
Oh.
Here's the thing. You got to keep playing. Can't drop that beat, boy. So you're like, oh, and you're like, God damn it. And then you look afterwards and you're like, hey, I don't have a nail.
The guitar equivalent is when a string is not cut all the way and it falls into your skin. So I had a guitar slide. Beric threw a guitar and I caught it.
Yeah, and you,
And he's terrible at
Yeah.
fucking putting the strings on. And I caught the headstock and it slid through my. I was like, oh God!
nope, not for me.
I have been scratched or stabbed by like somebody who had to change a string mid set, and so they couldn't really cut it all the
They'll catch
way,
you, man.
and just like
They're
Yeah, they hit
dangerous.
you.
on my
yeah.
arm.
I mean, it's metal.
Mm-hmm.
It hurts.
You ever
It
bite
was-
your tongue?
Oh,
Singing.
that would be a musical.
Ever bite my tongue?
I know.
I don't
Have
think
you?
I don't think I have ever bit my tongue while singing. I have.
While using it while eating, where you have so many years of experience. How the fuck am I biting my tongue? Sorry.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
but I have done that, so I don't know why not with singing. But
I guess
You're
you
not
don't
really
clench your
biting
teeth that
down.
often, that
you're
way.
not. Yeah, they shouldn't be near each other as often as they are with eating.
Tips and the teats.
Like your tongue, they should never
Spits.
be right there. But I have like choked on spit and stuff
Yeah.
mid-song, just from like in like just
Yeah.
a breath, because you have to every now and
gotta
then you have to
breathe,
time
yeah.
your breaths, but every now and then if you've got too much saliva, just you can't avoid it.
Right, and that's when you put the mic out to the crowd like, you sing it.
I also there was one time it was really bad. Like I think it was I had just gotten over being sick, so there was more phlegm than usual. And one of the like inhales that I did, full on like
Right.
mid song, there was no recovery, but it was like free falling, and everybody
nobody
was
cares,
already
yeah.
like,
Cause I'm free.
yeah, everyone was already like
Right.
going, so no big deal. But
No BD. No
but
BD.
it did take me. I'm not even kidding. A solid 2 or 3 songs to recover, because sometimes that phlegm just gets there, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
you can't like.
The phlegm.
clear it?
It's all there.
What's
all
some
the
other
time.
weird ones that happen? You ever roll XLRs and hit yourself in the balls?
No.
That's a common
Yes.
one for me.
But that's
Yes.
why
So-
would I do that?
Yeah.
Well, not
singers,
roll.
singers don't fucking roll cable.
Not roll. I've had somebody throw me a wrapped up one.
and it just spun
And
out a little bit.
The way the one was, it had the ends at the exact same point, so there was a little more leeway, a little.
yeah.
And I caught it, and it was like, dunk.
Yep, it's the worst, man.
No, mine's
that's a
like
common
I've hit.
reoccurrence
I
for
have
me.
like busted my lip on my microphone
Oh, yeah,
before.
yeah, there we go.
Or like my tooth, which no damage, so not as big of a deal. But my lip has definitely gotten like a little swollen.
You ever been
from-
shocked? You ever had a mic
Nope.
ungrounded? And it
No,
shocked
I've never
you?
been shocked.
I have.
I've seen people,
I've had it
but I have not been
twice.
shocked.
Yeah, I remember we did the what was the movie?
It's horrible.
But I have been using.
You're
a,
like singing. You're like.
I've been using a cordless mic for like 12 years though. So like,
Yeah.
I mean,
I got him again.
Slap it this time.
Did-
Do the
use
chair
your
method.
other
How am
hand,
I
like
gonna,
I
how am I
said.
gonna do that?
no, you just it's just
I think you just fucked his hand up.
I don't see him.
Maybe he wasn't
Fucked
there.
his hand
I
up.
didn't fuck my
He's
hand.
in the fucking wall.
Anyways, no. Another one that I've had recently was I was doing like a fill around, like tom, and I hit my kneecap.
Dum-da-dum-dum.
I don't know how I did it because that's
Ow.
not the drums, right? So I was like,
not the drums.
yeah. But
God.
hitting your kneecap with a drumstick as hard as you're trying to hit a drum.
Yeah, that's not pleasant. I
No,
imagine.
it's not something I would tell anybody to
No.
experience.
You
And
don't
then
suggest.
again, can't drop the beat.
You can't stop the beat. Was that from Hairspray? The Hairspray?
I don't know.
You wouldn't.
Does
know.
it look
Why would
like
I
we
ask
watched
you?
Hairspray? I've seen
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
It's pretty real.
The
The basic story Fletcher recounts about Charlie Parker is true, but his description is inaccurate. Drummer John Jones did indeed throw a cymbal in his response to Parker playing, but he did not
See, I
throw
thought
it
it
as
was
a
a cymbal.
physical attack on Parker. He simply threw it to the stage floor as a signal that Parker should leave the stage. Jazz historians have also said has also said that this was not a response to poor performance, as Fletcher says, but because the older musicians disapproved of the fast improvisations Parker was playing that became his trademark. So all the old guys on stage were like, yo,
All the old cats.
fast
like, Yo,
hands,
Man,
chill,
slow down.
yeah, chill fuck
slow
out. He's
the
all,
fuck down.
and they're like, motherfucker, and he got pissed and he was like, fuck this, I'm out.
I was gonna make a boomer joke, but they are definitely older than boomers. So that's
Quakers.
That's like
The
yeah,
Quakers.
That's like well past.
The
That's
fucking
older than
oatmeal
that.
cats, man.
Right.
Like he was probably a boomer. No, he was even a.
You would have been more.
He was a
So what's
older than
before
boomer.
boomers? Old guys,
Okay,
Fucking
Quaker doesn't
geezers.
geezers. Yeah.
sound right. Okay, Quaker doesn't sound right.
Remember back in like 2000-ish era, that was a saying, like calling somebody a Quaker. Like, go back home, you Quaker.
I can honestly say I've never
I
heard
don't
anyone.
remember that.
Yeah, I can't.
Is that
I
a
don't.
Canadian thing?
Is that?
No, I said it was down here, dude. It was Middletown Middle School. I
I've never
remember.
heard anyone
It's like
call
people
someone
saying
else a Quaker.
You're square.
Stop trying to make-
I've heard that one before.
Died out
square.
in probably the 80s.
Stop trying to make Quaker happen.
What I like is
I heard
how
it's
like
hip
for
to be a square.
for years growing
Hip
up, like
to be
in
square.
our like younger generation,
Sure.
the years and years of ridicule of being
You
a
sung-
redhead
you
and
sung-
freckles, and
you sung
now
that.
what's happening? Everyone's dyeing their hair copper and
Are they? Who?
faux freckles.
I've seen that. Yeah, I'll give you that. They're doing the fake tattooed freckles.
Not just that, but even just makeup
Yeah, yeah,
freckles.
yeah.
Like
Well, it adds a little.
I got
yeah.
so teased for my freckles for half of my life.
Well, things come and go. Just like 90s football sweaters are back.
I forgot about those.
I was walking.
90s in general is
Oh,
back,
dude,
bro.
I was walking through Abercrombie and Fitch on
We're
the
old.
weekend.
I love the
Oh
90s though. so.
My God. They're selling NASCAR 50th anniversary hats for like $80.
But I'm not
I
gonna
got
lie. I have
Dad's probably got a whole slew of those
multiple.
fucking things.
I have multiple like shackets or like jackets that are like
Shirt jackets.
the color
Did Shaq
block.
make it?
You know what I mean? Like the
Yeah, I
color
know what you're
block.
talking about, yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. It's,
I
coming, it's
like
back.
like where the sleeve is one color,
can't
this
get
sleeve's
past
one color, this
unfunctional
side's one
clothing.
color, this kind.
Yeah. I need pockets.
Yeah, like a jacket,
Everything
but
needs
it's a
16
it's a
pockets.
vest.
Some of my
What is that?
jackets have pockets.
Is it a javest?
Do you need to stay warm while your
Jackass?
limbs flail about? Why would you need a?
You need to keep your core
What?
warm.
I'm just going over clothing that's really doesn't seem like it's as functional as.
As it needs to be.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like a jacket. You know what I'm talking about? Like a vest, but it's a jacket. It's like fluffy and maybe goose down or some shit. Do you know what I'm talking? You've
I
seen
think,
those.
yeah. Well, also like
Where
Back
it's
to the
like
Future is
just
like, would you
this
get off
part
the
of
Oh
your
boat?
yeah,
body.
let me stay warm in
life-
case
It's
I
just
gotta
protecting
box this
this part of your
motherfucker.
body.
Life preserver.
Yeah.
Your arms will freeze.
But you don't care
but
because
your
those can fall off.
Your torso will be cozy.
That's where all the heat goes, anyways.
Final decisions out of 10 for Whiplash. We're going Wally first because it was his pick.
I'm gonna go 8-8.
8.8, 8.8.
I hate how you put points on the.
I mean, I got to.
I'm a solid 8-8.
I wasn't gonna say that, but I was gonna ask why it wasn't a 9 then.
Well, I mean, I
Well,
love most of the movie. The acting was phenomenal, but I'm not into these kind of movies for the most part.
The anxiety-ridden.
Yeah, the whole movie's full
So
of that.
that's what keeps it from being a 9.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Mm,
Yes. For the most part, that's what keeps it from being a 9.
What keeps it from being a 10?
Same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah,
But that's what
same
I'm.
thing.
So that's why I was trying to.
Okay.
That's the point I was trying to
Yeah,
make.
there's
So that
nothing
keeps
that's
it from
like
being a 10. What? But you took just 0.2 from it being a 9.
Point deuce.
Well, it's. I would say it's more of like if you depending on your math, 12 points for it feeling that way for me feeling that way at the end.
Depending on your math.
Yeah, pending
If
on
you
your
said-
math.
Okay.
Depending on your math.
We're not. This
I
isn't
will-
88 out of 100.
this
This
has-
is 8.8 out of 10.
This has
Okay.
the best ending of any movie I've ever seen. To me personally.
Have you ever seen?
Yeah, best ending. Best executed ending of any movie ever.
Okay, I get you. The leading up to events, the everything coming together at like one single, like, hey, I fucking got you.
Yeah.
I'm putting you on the spot, and you can't play this song because you don't even know what it is.
I can't think of a movie that I would probably be more upset with if they kept going after the smile. That's how I kind of look at it. At this, like this.
Oh, I
So
got
it
you. Like,
ended when it needed to end.
when it ends, you're like, yes.
Yeah, 100%.
And then it
At the
plays
100%.
fucking Whiplash.
It ends. You're just like, oh, what the fuck? Because you don't actually expect that ending,
Right.
which is amazing that they decided to do it
You're right. And,
and
the
then
fact
make you
that
feel that way.
he's saying, I'm going to cue you or kill you, whatever you think. And then when they cue him, that's when the movie stops. Like, it's, and they look at each other, and then Whiplash, and it's over. Like,
It's
yeah.
so good. And a little fucking
Yep.
smiles.
Oh, dude, yep.
It's so good, dude. It's so fucking good.
Well, it's the culmination of him understanding that I finally have the student, and then him finally going,
It's a
am good.
lifelong event for two people finally coming to a head,
Right.
especially after all the drama.
Coming to fruition.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And they probably hate each other's gut. Well, I don't think Fletcher hates him.
I love to imagine, and that's another part about this ending. I imagine them after this, kind of like how he was with that dad and daughter. At
Okay,
this. It was
yeah, like you've got
oh,
my
I
respect
understand
now.
Yeah, I
and
understand
we're,
what's going on.
I get what you're saying. I think after that, like if they still continued a little bit as like student and teacher or whatever,
Yeah.
it was probably more of a like it was probably more level after that. It was probably more him being like, I'm fucking
Yeah.
doing it, and then him being like, all right, we'll do
Yeah.
it harder. Like they were able to like talk that way instead of it being a
Well, the scene where he comes back, or when he first comes in without his sticks, and he's like arguing back, like the fuck he is. That's my part, and he's
Yeah.
like, what do you mean? You know, you can't.
and he's
talk
like, no,
to
that's
me.
my part. I lent it to you, or,
Right,
or
right.
whatever.
And
So good.
but again, don't you think like he's not arguing with him for the fact of like, no, fuck you. He's doing it to push him, right? Like, well, you can't fucking play without sticks. You know, like
That I will say that part I could have gone either way on, because also you're talking about his performance here.
True,
Like you're gonna
True.
he's not gonna have you fuck up his entire band,
which he does, but it's
which he does,
Yeah.
which he fucking
made-
because he was
does.
in a car accident,
which he
like,
does.
His acting and the way that character's written is
Written.
that his fucking the line he walks between you believing
Oh,
that he might be an actual dick or that he's actually trying to accomplish a goal is so fucking thin. Like the whole time you're like, oh, dude, he's kind of just a fucking ass to be an ass.
yeah.
And then you realize what he's doing. You're like, oh, okay, well, he's maybe doing this for this.
he's all right.
And it doesn't give you that
Yeah,
until the very end of the movie.
right, and then even then,
That's
What
what
do
I
you
thought the
got? You're
vacuum was earlier, by the
The
way.
wrong son died.
let's not go down that one.
I'm
Okay.
in half. Good.
Talk to us in English, dog. We ain't scientists. All right, Tara, what would you give this out of 10?
I would give it an 8.5.
8.5.
Yeah.
Any reason why?
I liked it.
I liked it. 8.5.
No, I do. I agree with Wally where like it is one of those movies where I feel like you wouldn't have wanted it to go after that. I feel like anything after the ending would have been superficial. It would have just been like, oh, like emotional or like touchy feel. Like you didn't need it. Like maybe you could have had a moment where like they shake hands after, or maybe you could have had a moment where his
No.
dad is like,
That would
I
take-
get
yeah,
it,
yeah.
but you don't need it.
No.
It's all unspoken.
yeah.
You don't need that stuff. That all would have been superficial. Just would have been surface shit, just to appease an audience, which you don't need.
No.
But I don't have anything that I would change, except for like you said, and like I
It's
said
just
when I
not
was
your tempo kind of thing.
and like,
That's how I am with it. I mean, it's a great movie.
Yeah.
it's a
But I
great
think
movie.
you and I are in the same kind of.
It's a great
spot
movie.
where
There's
it's-
nothing wrong with it, but like I don't know that I'd want to see too many movies in this that are the same.
Why he rates Back to the Future a 10.
That's his jam.
Yeah, exactly.
That's his jam.
It's the opposite of that. It's kind of what I'm saying.
my
This is not
tempo.
my tempo. But yeah,
I feel like we
The
have to do
devil's
that from
advocate.
now on. We can't say that's my jam or that's my vibe. We
Not my
have to say
tempo.
that's my tempo or that's not my tempo.
We would have to. We're musicians.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We have to take that on now.
Okay.
That's our
especially
responsibility.
you, buddy.
That's ours. That's our responsibility to make that a thing.
I don't even know what tempo is. I'm all over the place. Russian
You're
dragon.
flying.
God damn it. For me,
What do you give it, Steve?
So I'm going to read my thing and then give you the score. So this movie has one of the
We
longest.
should start writing things, I think.
I don't need to write. I'm
off
the
the cuff.
opposite of that. You might be, but
I'm
I'm.
kidding.
It's fine. So let me read it. This movie has one of the longest but most fulfilling climaxes of a movie I have ever seen. J.K. Simmons is absolutely incredible in his performance, and while Miles Teller to me is just okay in the role, he does well enough to be believable. The only issues I have, being a drummer myself like we discussed, a lot of the drums in the final scene are not ever close to looking correct or hitting the right notes or the right things, but this movie still fucks with everything in this, like...
I thought you were just saying movie still fucks.
Okay.
You said this movie still fucks.
Yeah.
And
This
you
movie
took
still
a break.
fucks.
Like new.
I needed to take a...
That Silicon Valley show, if you guys ever watched that, he says that about that one guy. He's like, this guy fucks.
Yeah,
That's all
what I
he
was getting
says.
out of it too. Keep going, Steve.
This movie still fucks.
Yes.
There you go.
Own
Way
it.
better. Way better.
Okay. 8 out of 10 for me. If you want to know what keeps this from being a 10, I pretty much just said it.
Sure.
Miles
Perfect.
Teller was okay. I'm not a huge Miles Teller guy. His face bugs me for some reason. He's got dimples here. Who has that? And then just watching that
Gotta get a
short
fist fight
movie.
with old Ginger over here.
Watching the short with the other guy, I was like, oh, well, now I kind of want to see the full movie with the original
other
actor
guy.
from that. And I feel like it could be obviously the same movie, but just a little bit different with regards to him. Now, one thing I didn't put in my fun facts, I did want to say, this is the only movie I think I have ever seen where there's no scene in which Miles Teller is not on the screen. Every scene he is in.
Oh shit.
From beginning to end, Miles Teller is in every scene. Think about it.
That's fucking wild. I didn't know. I didn't even pay attention to that.
There's no scene.
Well, if you even think about the scenes where it's about what's his face, Fletcher, whatever his name, even like the jazz club scene is
He's
still
there.
on him.
He's
first
So how do you
walking in.
define a scene? Because
Okay.
he's not on screen 20%
Okay, not
of the time,
on
but
screen.
he's part.
He's part
This is
of
what
the
I was
scene.
doing earlier. So I defined it as a shot because the dad in the doorway is a shot and not a scene.
Mhm.
So that's how I.
And so then, like him talking to the guy and the daughter,
He's still you're seeing it from his point of view.
He is
Yeah.
part of it technically,
Right,
even
and
though
then
he's
it
not part
shows-
of that conversation.
Right, but it shows back to him
Gotcha.
watching it. If
Yeah.
you're looking at him and the girlfriend breaking up or whatever, or him, practicing drums.
You think that was
or-
intentional?
Oh yeah, the whole movie is from his point of view, right?
Like his drive and his fucking emotional conquest that he has.
yeah, I think so.
Dope.
I have something I was gonna say. Now.
This movie fucks.
That's not what it was.
That should be the fucking
The tag,
TikTok
yeah.
or whatever. This
That's
movie,
just-
this movie
Whip-
fucks.
Hashtag this.
Just
If you're doing
Whiplash.
clips, it should be the in the walls one.
okay, and then
And
just
then
this
this
movie
movie
fucks
fucks.
like 3 times, and then
Yeah,
us
yeah.
just saying it again.
What was the beginning of your review?
The movie has one of the longest but most fulfilling climaxes of a movie I've ever
I don't
seen.
remember what it was I was gonna say.
Okay, hey, get it?
I was gonna say I have climax longer. Or
I
I
used
could
to
have said,
have-
or I could have said I've had longer climaxes.
There you
But,
go.
like,
There you go.
And
You're
other-
grammatically.
You're grammatically correct. So that's going to do it for us on this episode. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe, comment, like, favorite, do your things. Find us on wherever you want to find us. You're going to say something.
I was gonna say next.
Okay, go for it.
No, I don't want to.
Next week,
Change my mind.
we're going to have a
turn
old
is it?
friend on. It's Wally's turn. He's going to pick it in a second. We're going to have an old friend return, an old host return for a guest spot. Good old George is coming back. Hopefully he shows up. We're going to review a movie I'm excited for. Newer movie, Evil Dead Rise. Before we go, though, Wally does have something to tell us about the TV and movie trivia of the week.
All right, I'm not going to do the top one. I'm going to do the bottom. What is the name of the Caddy's school in Mean Girls? Of Caddy's school in Mean Girls, sorry.
Her
Oh,
name
her
is
name's
Katie.
Kate.
Katie, whatever.
Katie.
Well, he did the
Harris.
same thing that they did in the movie.
Yeah, Katie Harris is her
Caddy?
name.
What is the name of Caddy's school
I-
in Mean Girls?
I genuinely don't remember what the name of the
They
actual
say it.
school
They
is.
say it.
They do. They definitely do. I
Where
just
does
don't
it-
remember.
Where does it take place at?
Was it California?
No, yeah, no. Yes, because they moved from Africa.
I don't know.
think
I
it's-
don't know if this helps at all, but I'm trying.
Um,
You want to pick a different one?
No.
I just,
What's up?
I honestly, yeah, I just honestly have no idea.
North Shore High School.
Would never have gotten.
I don't
never.
think you
gotta
guys
be
would have
California.
gotten the first one.
What is it?
Which TV drama told the story of a family living on a farm in Walnut Grove, Minnesota, in the late 1800s?
Oh, fucking Prairie.
Little House on the Prairie.
Thank you. Little House on the Prairie.
I
Good
feel
job,
like I
Steve.
get that.
Sorry,
No, I
skip
said the
that
whole
one.
thing. He didn't even know what it was.
I thought you both
cued
would have
you.
been a fucking. You guys are mean
I
girls
cued.
aficionados.
Did you
so
cue me or did you kill me?
I cued her.
Not my tempo.
And on that, bye.
Bye.
Bye.